we are live. Sorry, I dropped my book. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late. I desperately needed a shave. So I had to go quick, raise myself. Morning, everybody. Infinite, good to glad to have you. Bramble, good to glad to have you. Ryan, good to glad to have you. Me playing early, yeah. Ray Ray, I don't even know is up at it or if they're at work. But yeah, I'm still a little bit. I don't even want to say sick. Sick's not really the right word, but still kind of recovering from this long COVID stuff, and it's like, yeah, I like how's audio, by the way? I just realized I need to set this closer to my face. B, good to see you, glad to have you. Good, we have a mod. Yeah. I will stop focusing on my health, but yeah, just to say that I'm still a little tired. Morning, Dest. Good to see you. Audio's good now? Yeah. Good. But yeah, so today, focus is continuing along on our Dawntrail explorations. Also, I may just be trying to do some work. It's gonna be variety stream, I think, for the foreseeable future while I'm recovering, because I just don't even have the mental bandwidth to like create a schedule, to like create a plan for what we're doing. I definitely need to do the current event. I mean, like, that's how far behind I am. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Health of the stream is good. Honestly, literally, I'm not even kidding you. I may literally like park Elio outside the Gold Saucer gates, and between gates, just send some goddamn Discord messages, because I've been so tired. I haven't even sent Discord messages to people. So yeah, it's gonna be like that. I swear I see this person, this hanging out over here all the time. How are you all doing? And also, we've got some fun, good news to talk about. Have you done Little Lady's Tide Hatching Tide event? I have not. I have not done it yet. So I definitely need to do that. So that's well, it's Hatching Tide's Gridania, but Little Lady's Days is Ul'dah. Which does it start in? We can start out with that. Though again, I may yeah. Bam, good to see you, glad to have you. It starts in Gridania. Interesting. I guess it's Hatching Tides first, Little Lady's second. Also, did I say Infinite, good to glad to have you, Bramble, good to see glad to have you, Ryan, good to see glad to have you, V, good to see glad to have you, Des, good to see glad to have you. Wait, Gridania, sorry, Gridania, okay. I'm very interested to see how they synthesize these two very different holidays. And also, like, from the standpoint of the story, are they going to be, like, because they are two different times of year. So are they going to be like, oh, they actually fell on the same day this year? Or what is their rationale going to be? Oh, right. But I want to talk to you guys, and we'll probably talk about this again as if we get more people in. But hey, did y'all hear? Did y'all hear? They have finally confirmed it. We're getting cross region data center travel. Infinite, you'll finally be able to play with us. They're at least going to be testing it. So the thing is that we know for a fact, according to OCP, they've been able to do it for a while. Was not a technical hurdle that they needed to overcome. And they even say it in this, and we can talk about it in a second. The problem was, well, here, I'll just read this. Since its introduction, the data center travel system has allowed players to visit worlds within the same physical data center. For example, players in North America Data Center are able to visit worlds in Aether, Crystal, Dynamis, and Primal. As previously announced, our system is capable of facilitating cross-region travel, but we are still evaluating this functionality in light of often substantial differences in market economy and social norms between the data centers. We'll continue to take community feedback into account as we consider whether this functionality should be enabled. On the other hand, many worlds may experience logging queues following the upcoming release of Dawntrail, especially during peak times. With this situation in mind, we are considering a temporary option in which a limited form of cross-region travel would allow players to play on less populated physical data centers. Thus, to identify potential technical issues ahead of Dawntrail's release, we will be conducting a public test of cross-region data center travel functionality starting Sunday, March 24th. Players connecting from geographically distant locations may experience some lag, but we hope you will take this opportunity to explore playing on a different physical data center. So, yeah. The test, though, to be fair, is only everybody can currently go to the oceanic data centers. That's going to be like their way of testing it. Because right now oceanic data centers are empty as well. I'm sure there may be other reasons, but definitely part of the empty. So basically, they just want to check what what actually happens when they do a melting pot with everyone. You know, the thing I'll say too is that really simply, all they have to do from a market standpoint is just say, okay, when you go to a physical different region, you can't use the market board, which I think would be not an unfair limitation. But I mean, I'd rather just said like anyone can go, because you still only can sell on your home world. So, but yeah, so good news. Good news. All Rosalie Dather. Meet up under Oceana Tea Tree when on the 24th. We'll do a stream. We'll definitely do a stream. How y'all doing? Jilly Aliapo. Oh, and the Royal Seneschal's here. Welcome, my friend. I take it the hatching tide decorations have caught your eye. It warms my heart to greet yet another reveler, for I am the host of this event, Julia Alipo, at your humble service. If I'm not mistaken, you're an adventurer, yes? Might I have your name? Elio Forgeron. Elio, a festive name to be sure. I hope that you shall find all things hatching tide to your liking. In fact, I know you shall, for I have seen it in a dream clear as the one I had many moons ago, where the 12 archons delivered unto me a prophecy which inspired this occasion. I have worked tirelessly since that night to do their words justice. Well, I guess technically her dream was from before the calamity, so many moons would still be accurate, even if we assume it's only been 1 to 2 years. This year, it was again a dream that sparked my imagination. A dream of a Gubu, massive and marvelous, standing upon the stage. Where else but in Ul'dah, so many malms away? Wreathed in radiant flowers of pink, the darling Gubu held in her hands an egg decorated most lavishly. And there is but one time of year when the sandy brown of that city is accented by peach blossoms in full bloom. Yes, I speak of Little Ladies' Day. The message of the Mistress Eliapo's dream was clear. Combine the spirit of Hatching Tide and Little Ladies' Day to create the most exciting day that the Jewel City has ever seen. Naturally, we sought out those in charge of the event and brought our proposal before them. "'Tis a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Master Elio. I have the honor of acting as this year's Royal Seneschal, and it is my duty to bring smiles and cheers to all the ladies of the realm. What is Little Ladies' Day, you ask? Why, it is the day when the maidens of Eorzean dote upon as princess by their very own loyal Seneschal. Mistress Aliapo's proposal was quite unprecedented, and so confident was she in her vision that we had already secured the services of a performer and his Gubu companion before meeting with us. I regret to say, not all in Ul'dah share in her conviction. Many doubt the safety of such an act, which has brought our plans for Little Ladies' Day to a standstill. Which makes sense after what happened during 1.0. Well, I guess actually prior to 1.0. The trepidation is not without cause, mind you. Some 15 years ago, a supposedly tame Gubu ran amok in the city-states. This is why we can't worry about timelines or canonicity, because if this is true, this means that there hasn't even been a year since the fall of Dalamud, which, like, very clearly is not the case. When the Seneschal informed us of these circumstances, I got to thinking we could hold a Hatching Tide event here in Gridania with the Gubus as the main attraction. I have to wonder, why bother saying 15 years ago when you know that creates headaches? Time bubble. Not only would this lift the spirits of Gridania's people, but it would prove to those in Ul'dah that the Gubu pose no danger. Surely that would put any doubts to rest. In fact, the performers have already arrived. Nonata and I were treated to a display of their show, and I must say, never have I seen a Gubu so pretty and sweet. Out of all the paths forward we could have taken, this seems to be the only one which might please all parties. I came to Gridania at once, so I could act as a witness for my peers in Ul'dah. Since you're here, might you accompany me to the show? Someone as well versed in the realm's beastkin as you might be regularly qualified to tell us just how docile the Gubu is. Well, I'd hate to see Miss Alipo's dream shattered. As would I. While I am certain that there is nothing to fear, having a stout arm by my side will be most reassuring. Well then, all is settled. The show of the lifetime awaits at Bent Branch Meadows. You had best not tarry. Agreed. Let us make our way there and speak with Adelmod, the performer in charge. Oh, I can hardly wait. Yukio, what are your thoughts on Little Lady's Day and Hatching Tide sharing a day? It seems nice, but why are some not happy about it? When you say some are not happy about it, who are you referring to? Because if you're talking about players, look, there's always some players who are not happy about literally anything that is done in the game. So, you know. I mean, if some people are upset because they like them as distinct events and want to be able to have both, like, I don't think that's insane. Yeah. Morning. It was expected that we get reward of 2 events rather than 1 mount. So yeah, are people upset because they're only getting 1 thing? Well, I'd rather at least we get the event than I'd rather get, you know, an event and nod to it than just ignore it. Like some years we've just not had you know, certain events. Doing all right. Having laundry washer dryer is so nice. Yes, it is. Even if I don't have a dishwasher. Oof. I've lived in a lot of places without dishwashers, man. Having one matters. It's so nice. Washing dishes by hand is fine. Washing clothes by hand would be a real chore. Yeah. Dev, step away from the time bubble. You're close to popping. And next month is the FF16 crossover. Yes, it is. Oh, also, I have another thing to pull up. That there's an interview with Yoshi P that we should talk about when we get a couple more people in. I'll hold that in the stream for a little bit. She tells you how kind of, lack of a better word, sick I've been. That like when did they even announce the 16 date? The 16. I don't even remember when they did that. Was it recent? Oh, there were new optional items put in the store. I must have missed that. What were they? Oh, it's just the like Tomberry and old items from previous Hatching Tides. Little Ladies Dance emote and all that. Yeah, the Frighten emote. Okay. IGN caused a bit of a tizzy, but by reporting that Yoshi P wanted to bump up the difficulty. I mean, that isn't. I mean, it's an overgeneralization of what he said, but like, I would say that anyone who just says Yoshi P wants to bump up the difficulty and ignore the context of what he exactly said is, I think, being like, it's not inapt that he wants to. How to put this? Yoshi P puts a really big premium in all of his interviews on delighting and surprising players, but he also puts an import on ease of access while also valuing challenge and overcoming. And he felt, and in that interview, he talks about how he felt he has somewhat failed in the realm of like Savage, like just regular like MSQ, that kind of content, to have there be adequate levels of challenge to overcome. And that it maybe has been a little bit too approachable, which I think, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I hear that from large swaths of the player base that that the mid and the mid-core content is maybe a little bit too approachable. The Billy looks so derpy to me. It's absolutely ridiculous, and I love it. I mean, look, also, dude, if we're gonna get only one thing and it's a Goobu mount, and I ain't gonna be upset. Look at him, it's a Goob girl. Oh, I didn't see you there. Can we help you? Greetings, I am the Royal Seneschal in charge of making Little Ladies' Day most memorable for all ladies of the realm. Mistress Aliapo has informed us that you have quite the show prepared for us. Ah, we've been waiting for you. You'll be hard-pressed to pick your jaw up off the floor after you've seen what my PT has in store for you. I've been watching over her ever since the day I found her wandering the wilderness all by her lonesome. We spent ages looking for a family, but now I suppose we're all each other has. It's interesting to me that it's an adaptation of the Sylph mount as opposed to the 1.0 version. Petey, a lovely name to be sure. And those flowers are the peach blossoms? I dare say she is the very picture of Little Lady Day's princess. Haha, I'm glad to hear that, and I know Petey is too. She's thought of a little else since the moment Miss Eliapo came to us with a peculiar request. There's nothing in this world we love more than hearing an audience cheer. I think this time we'll learn that and then some. We call this one Egg Surprise. Go on, PD. Oh my lord. That was astounding! Impressive, ain't it? And all it took was a few glamour prisms. Of course, that wasn't where the genius was required. Oh, so it's instead of magics, it's usually... Oh, that's brilliant. It took us days and nights of racking our brains to figure out how to capture the spirit of 2 celebrations. In the end, though, I think we did about as good a job as we could have been expected. Now, here comes the rub. Ever since we arrived in Gridania, PD's been a little on edge. Hate to see her like this, but I think I figured out what's causing it. As you just saw, she's got no problem performing in front of an audience of 2, but when a whole gaggle of revelers show up not too long ago, she just froze up. I see. She must not be used to such large crowds. Luckily, I managed to save the show by climbing atop her head. That set her mind at ease and helped her find her courage. But I ain't as young as I used to be, and my knees are already crying out in protest at the prospect of climbing her again. But you, on the other hand, I reckon you've got plenty of moms left in those adventuring legs of yours. Might I trouble you to join our merry troop and support Petey during her start turn? All you have to do is climb atop her head and head towards the crowd. Show them our act and tell the spectators to come to me for an egg of their own. There'll plenty to go around. I mean, Peach Blossom Laurel fits the little lazy date. Yeah, no, you're right in terms of making it a self-adaptation because of the Peach Blossoms. It tracks. PD's eager to get her show on the road. Trust me, PD will love having you aboard. Now is a chance to get those eggs into the hands of the eager Gridanians. She's too timid to wander off on her own, so if something else demands your attention, she'll make her way back to me. Now get out there and give Gridania an egg surprise. Oh my god, look at it, look. That is really cute. What did I just see? This must be that performing Goobo I heard so much about. Good show, good show. I think I'll get an egg of my own to remember this by. I feel like this storyline versus like 1.0 really embodies what we were talking about when we were doing the 1.0 stream. When we were talking when we were talking about how they're like sort of grit and like darker edge and bite of like 1.0 in the earlier 14 lore compared to the later more friendly 14 lore. I'm not that I'm complaining, it's an observation. Behold, egg.
That was amazing! The rabbits were so adorable, and the crown of peach blossoms is so pretty. I wonder if they gave them out with the eggs. Let's go find out.
Yes, in old I'm sure they have no bad memories about them. Yeah, Sentinel's mustache is always hard to look away from. No offense. Also, AC, good to go. It looks drawn on, and if I rub my thumb over it, I could see a smudge. I mean, I could imagine all Lalafell mustaches are actually drawn on. Although I'm pretty sure you can see, like... Yeah, that one's actually got depth to it, so... You know why people often confuse peach blossoms with cherry blossoms? Why would I be offended by a mustache that isn't mine? Unless it's really offensive. No, I don't, AC. Very cute, behold. Oh yeah, I think everyone has a different sitting pose on her head. I saw Miko sat differently than my little lady. Oh, that's cool. Let me see. I bet you, yeah. I wonder if you could force sit. No, okay. I was curious to see if you could change your like the elves and pose and stuff. Okay, let's look at like Sakura versus Peach Blossom. I think it's just because they're visually similar. Like, you know, these are Sakura. Like, I mean, and then these are Peach Blossoms, right? So, like, I think the reason people confuse them is because it's a very warranted confusion. Like just at a glance. I'll say if you can't go to Japan and you ever want to see cherry blossoms and like beautiful cherry blossoms and see what Hanami is kind of like, just go to Washington D.C. during like April or March. They have a part of the year where like everything blooms and it's real pretty. It's excellent. I'm joking. Last year Hatching Tide was cute. Oh, what did yeah. Well, it was worth an ask. Yeah, this is a weird story. A friend of mine never understood the rampaging Gubu picture they use in certain cutscenes pertaining to Thancred, and every time he saw it, he would scratch his head. Are you saying it's a weird story that your friend was confused, or especially meeting people in Tonberry costume, including Seitoto herself? Yeah. He would add tension to the story, which people mistook for stress and difficulty. He wanted to add tension to the story. Yeah. I mean, so Bramble, I'm assuming that you're like probably like 5 minutes behind or something, just because like you're commenting on stuff a little ways after we get it. No, the Yoshi P's comments here. You know what? Why don't we just actually read him? I do think Yoshi P did mean that he wants to add. What he wants to add is a meaningful amount of challenge to overcome within the confines of regular experience in the game that is satisfying and rewarding. And he feels, and the impression I got from that IGN interview is that he feels that they have somewhat failed to nail the balance of accessibility versus rewarding challenge. Let me see if I... Yeah, like the problem is like you even have people with like things like this top. So I read the entire article, and this is basically the important part of the article, which is that Yoshida reflecting on the fan festival. So from now on, we'll keep working to surprise players and go beyond what they imagine. But that reminds me of something I regret. As we've continued to operate 14, we've made the game more comfortable, a game you can play without stress. But looking back on the last 10 years, I think we may have overdone that a bit. What do you mean? A video game should, of course, have an element of stress, but how to handle that properly is extremely difficult. But so. I'd be curious to look at what the Japanese here, but like what I think what is kind of meant here, and he talks about it this more in the earlier part of the conversation with Shimoda, is that like the importance of challenge, not in a Dark Souls get good way, but in a just meaningful like. He has actually a great analogy down here. Let me just read it. For example, in a side-scrolling game, if there are any holes you can drop down into if you miss a jump, of course the game would lose stress, but it also would lose its fun, right? Which, yeah, I mean, if you gave someone a video game where all they have to do is press right on the D-pad and they win because they just run to the right, that's not really fun, right? Speaking of 14, I would like to restore that part a little bit. If we do that, we can give everyone a better challenge in a good way than ever before, right? So like that. If I feel like you kind of have to willfully choose to misread what he's saying if you're like he's saying, oh, we gotta like, make it super mega difficult or something. I think he's just admitting and acknowledging that they might have like slightly tuned the balance a little bit too low. Just grow your own cherry trees. Yeah, that's not notoriously difficult in any way. He gets rather annoyed when he sees it because of no context. I mean, to be fair, they do explain it. Like, did your friend kind of skip it? They literally talk about it. I don't remember if it's a Realm Reborn or Heavensward, but they do explain, like, in the MSQ, what happened to Menphilia's father. I think in maybe even 2.1, and what happened with the Gupu. So, like, I mean, if they forgot about it, I understand. But, like, I'm fairly sure they mention it. And do explain it. They just don't get the Echo Vision like you do in 1.0. Oh my stars! What manner of... Oh, you're promoting Hatch and Tie. Yes, I knew that, of course. Splendid trick that was, truly. Never knew Gubus to be adept at anything besides eating. But you've expanded my horizons. Mayhap I'll partake in the festivities this year after all. And I'll tell you what, I would really love a little bit more difficulty in the MSQ content, and I also think that it's not unreasonable to expect a little rise in difficulty, the further they go in, right? Like if you Dawntrail is, depending on how you want to count it, the 5th expansion, right? Because if you depends on if you want to count ARR as the base or an expansion, and then but if someone's playing Dawntrail, you can assume that they have played A Realm Reborn, Heaven's Word, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Endwalker. That they have that there's a level of experience and knowledge that this player has and is bringing to the table, and therefore you can design around a certain level of expecting people to be at least regularly competent. And we've already seen that with mechanics, right? And the way in which mechanics are recombined and that knowledge base is built upon. But by the same token, and also I think it might have been Bramble or someone else who pointed to this last time. It's like, or maybe it was Crepe, who said, well, if people skip, then they won't be competent enough. And I don't think that counts, because if you choose to skip, you are admitting a responsibility to either know or search or learn what you're supposed to be doing by choosing to do so. Kiko, good to see you, glad to have you. You're saying if I want to see a cherry blossom instead of flying to Japan, I can fly to the USA. Well, then you can come visit me. There you go, Infinite. I'm not that far away from I'm actually quite close to Washington, D.C. I'm like, what? Maybe 10 hours? Not even, probably 10 hours away. Let's see. Washington, D.C. to Concord, New Hampshire. Yeah, 8 hours away by car. I'm super, super close. Yeah, that's like only slightly too long for like a day trip. I've definitely done 5-hour drives for that were effectively day trips. Good work, Elio. Same goes for you, PT. Could hardly pass around the eggs fast enough. And it looks like PT's managed to And it looks like PT's managed to conquer her fears. Let's hope these ovations are enough to conquer the seneschals. Although I've been but a bystander in its fairs so far, what I've seen has been truly inspiring. PT is possessed not only of a kind heart, but the soul of an entertainer as well. I would have her by the main attraction on our stage in Ul'dah. On behalf of the Little Ladies' Day Planning Committee, I invite you into our city as an honored guest. Well, I'd not want to decline such an eager invitation. Consider it accepted. But first I'd best tell Miss Aliopo, and she'll be needing more eggs. Going on to Ul'dah, we'll find our own way there before long. Wonderful. Then I shall depart at once and make the stage ready for your arrival. You've helped tremendously already, but there is no denying that PT has taken a shine to you. Might you watch over her in Ul'dah for a while? Just until she becomes accustomed to the crowds. Okay, I'm going to pull up EE3, because I just have a question, like, I guess technically speaking, Little Ladies' Day and Hatching Tide are not necessarily like co-assigned to a date. This is so much a time of year, so I suppose maybe co-running them isn't the weirdest thing. I just want to see if EE3 gives any kind of like elucidation on perhaps. Little Ladies' Day. The tradition began with the legend of the Lost Lady. Yes. I know all about Edvia. During this special time of year, the Royal Seneschal Leveling organizes events to recognize and inspire the realm. Yeah, there's not really anything about time of about specific among dates. So the decorate Eorzean calendar, Hatching Tide is relatively recent one in the year 1572 of the 6th Astral Era, with the 7th Umber Calamity looming on the horizon. A young woman residing in Gridania named Gili Aliopo with these sages. Actually, you know what's interesting? If she's having dreams of the 12 archons, it'd be really interesting if Gili mentions Kryl, the Archon realm when next year. Decorated egg. Although the archons of the division ultimately did not appear, probably. Yeah, there's really just only the time of year that's generally, so I guess synthesizing them into one thing isn't that weird. Speaking of cryo. Okay. I mean, you need to kick it up a notch to make things fresh. This isn't what WoW has been trying to do, but their simple solution was to grind, and more grind. Well, there's also an interesting interview in a magazine that I have that we'll definitely talk about in a little bit after we finish these quests, about Yoshi P and about their plans for future relic grinds. But look, I mean, like, there is a whole world between MSQ and Savage content, right? There is like those as ends of the spectrum. There's an enormous like amount of room between those two for there to be really all sorts of levels of difficulty and challenge. And I mean, to be fair, even EX alone, I mean, even between just MSQ normal level challenges and EXs. Do you guys like pickled cherry blossoms? Hell no. Like the gear hand holding done throughout the MSQ. Gear hand holding? Which gear hand holding, Ryan? Do you mean like the fact that they give you the gear, or they make a joke about the bottomless pits in Mario games that bad people are assigned to scrub them if the games are over. Will you guys celebrate Dawntrail by buying a taco? I mean, I don't need Dawntrail to justify buying a taco, but yes. One of the things Yoshi P talks about actually in that interview, the magazine interview, is about like how 14 as a whole celebrates food, and cross-cultural sharing is tied deeply to food, and that that is definitely going to be a major part beyond just like in Dawntrail. I'm surprised Blossom viewing is still a thing considering Pen. I'm not sure I understand. Like, one, Hanami is like... Hanami as a cultural thing has survived much, like... But also, like... Blossom viewing is I mean, it's like... It's not something that you have to do necessarily with a giant crowd. Ryan, good to see you, glad to have you. How you doing, man? What did the women of 14 like to do in their free time? AC, I'm sorry, but like that is kind of a ridiculous question on the face of it, just because you're saying what do the women of 14 like? Kryle's not going to be interested in the same thing as Y'shtola is not going to be the same interesting thing as the fucking like. It's like, what do the men of 14 like doing in their free time? Rahatia and Thancred are wildly different characters, let alone talking about Fortunal. It's like I'm just sorry, but that's just like such a bizarre frame, like I'm not trying to shoot down the question of genuinely asking out of curious what a character is interested in, but like it's not like all women like the same thing. I remember McDonald's had a weird Japanese collab wherein they had JP themed products. I tried Cherry Blossom Sprite and regretted it immediately because I forgot I hate cherries. I mean, to be fair, Sakura flavored things don't really taste very cherry to me, but maybe I'm weird though, because I cannot stand cherry medicine or anything cherry, but I also love Code Red. But I don't know if you know this right now, but at McDonald's, when you buy like get a meal right now, the bags have like manga on them. I'm not even kidding. I recently bought some stuff, and if you go to McDonald's, they've got like Donald, and they'll have like all like on the items there'll be in Japanese. I don't know who proposed this. I don't know why this happened. Like this is Donald. I don't know why this happened. It also, if you go to their auto checkout things, at least here in like New Hampshire and other places, they have anime boys on them. Again, I don't know who came up with this, but they deserve an enormous raise, and I hope that they never go back from this, and this is just our new way of being. Because yeah, like if you get a cup, this is like what they look like right now. I'm eating McDonald's breakfast right now. Can confirm the cup. Beautiful, Brian. It is bizarre, that's for sure. Bizarre, no, like I'm so happy about it, and not even really because it's necessarily manga and Japanese and what have you. Like, don't get me wrong, I am excited about that, but just like I love that it's fun and like vibrant and actually playful. I cannot stand fucking corporate food. Like, for instance, all the McDonald's that now look like corporate buildings. It's a travesty. Like, this is what a lot of them currently look like. I mean, honestly, this one isn't terrible. It's very modernist, but at least it kind of looks like nice. I've seen some ones that are really like particularly just like no soul whatsoever. Like, imagine seeing this but without this red. Just like, imagine if this red was gray and it was just like all like that.
Ah, you are arrived. You'll be glad to know that I managed to win over the planning committee with my story of PD's show. Ulda's gates will be cast wide for her arrival. If she's amenable to the idea, I would have her be the star attraction on this here stage. But that first order of the day is spread the word. If we tell the citizens what we saw in Ben Branch Meadows, it is my hope that we will welcome PD with open arms. And if her show is a success, then we will manage a celebration with spans from Gridania to Ulda, painting smiles upon the faces of all the realm's little ladies and egg fanatics alike. Can I get someone to write Minfina's father's name in chat real quick for me so I can look it up in T-Tools? I shall stay here and drum up what interest I can. Elio, pray head to the steps of Thal and do the same. Meet me at the stage afterwards, and together we can shower PD with applause.
Maybe even this year, considering the mentions already happened. Yeah, remember McDonald's had a weird Japanese collab where they had yeah, it's discourage running dungeons again for the gear that gives. Might as well make it so the dungeons don't give gear. See, but Ryan, I think what that fails to, I think that misses a couple things, because one, that misses that dungeon gear is beneficial in terms of gear, like the gear you get from the MSQ only allows you to gear one role, and a lot of people play multiple jobs. The gear in the dungeon is glam, and for a lot of people that is their end game. So like, I don't think power is in and of itself honestly the main like attraction to that. And it also ignores like the descent system as well as the crafting system. Warburton, thank you, AC. Let me pull up T2. Yeah, okay, so I'm right. No sin unpunished. Ulda, Alchemist Quest, Stormblood. Okay, so Alchemist Quest, they definitely talk about Warburton and how he died and the Gubu, which makes sense because that whole Stormblood 70 quest is really about kind of taking the Ulda story from 1.0 and actually giving it kind of a conclusion. Also, Niflheim was an ass. I will say, man, Plan 1.0 made me think a lot less of some characters because they're just such assholes. Yeah, okay, so that explains it. So it's not in the MSQ, which is probably why your friend didn't know about Yukio, because it was in that Stormblood quest. In terms of, like, directly stating what happened to Warburton. I think Elio is asking for Minfilia is dead. Yes. Balthic? I heard Minfina, Amadil. No, I have, especially lately, it's been really bad, Ryan. I keep swapping between Minfilia and Minfina. So, like, that is an understandable mishearing. Let's get a quick triple triad match in. I think we still have 50s themed McDonald's here in, no. I'm not crazy, right? There's not an NL state. I'm sure you'll let me know, fam. He works at McRow. Elliot, if the coughing is too much, please prioritize hearing yourself. Yeah, fam, I will. So look, I promise I don't want to like spend forever talking about health, but to just quickly go over it. Right now, the big issue is I have a lasting cough, which is really not that bad. It's frankly fine. The big issue is right now I effectively am an 80-year-old man where like walking up the stairs wins me, and I have a lot of brain fog and get lightheaded pretty easily. Honestly, when I'm able to have like some momentum and I'm talking to you guys and I'm doing something, it's a little bit better. Like it's not like, as long as I'm a little bit focused, it's a little bit nice. It's almost like a little bit of a reprieve. Comes back bad when I stop, and frankly, I just have very little energy and mental energy, and it's sucked because it's been only decreasing very slowly. This Lalafell's looking at me, and I'm not going to be mad about it. But yeah, so that's why right now, like why I put the post on YouTube and stuff, of said I'm taking a slight break, or that I just need some time because I'm as far as I can tell, it's just long COVID. But so this is me taking it easy. I know that I'm pushing myself a little bit and that I'm doing something, but it is very bad for my mental health to not be doing something, to like, because you have to understand, I have like slept in bed for like 3 days in a row and not done much and not felt much better. And that's just not a way to live, and I'm not happy like that. So while yes, I am expending a bunch of energy and I am pushing it a little bit, it is not that bad. And it means that once I finish this, I can go lay down and feel like I did something with my day, and I'm much more happy, and that is much more restorative. So thank you for your concern. I will appreciate it every time that you guys are concerned about my well-being, but it is this is for the best for sure. That animal boy is the MC of the show. Devil's a part-timer. Basically imagine Satan getting isekai to the modern world, and now he works at McDonald's. Yep, that definitely seems like your sort of show, Yukio. Oh, now I want McDonald's. But the I don't know why, but every time I go to the McDonald's up here in New Hampshire, they've been really bad. Like, shockingly bad. I guess not every time, but like the nuggets have been like real weird, man. And the fries have been real weird, man. I'm definitely gonna lose this if I do that. The nice thing is that if I do here, I can capture from Squall. Yeah, I'm gonna do that because I can capture from Squall or from... Yeah, sweet. Fuck, yeah. I done did... Oh no, I fucked up. Oh, I could have won. That's just New England thing, Elio. At least the majority of the ones up here I also find not to be as good. Okay, so I'm not crazy. I don't know. I don't know why that is. There's plenty of great food in England. It's not like New England's, but like all the McDonald's have been like really not great. The burgers have been fine. You know, I don't know what's up with that. I'll tell you what. Like I keep saying that to my partner, who she's lived up here for a while. She's lived a bunch of places, but she's also not necessarily a connoisseur of the McDonald's variety. So she's just like, she kind of laughs at me a little bit. I mean, she believes me, but she also is like, okay, whatever, man. Netherlands. Oh, the Netherlands. Okay, you see the codes on the European Carsons, like GB and Great British. Oh, okay. You guys do. NL is Dutch. Okay. Thank you, fam. I probably should have been able to figure that out, especially knowing that you're over there. I just like it threw me for a loop because I'm so used to seeing the 2-letter abbreviations. I don't think I've ever seen like GB used in conversation. I'm sure I've spent time in Britain, so like I must have seen the license plate. Yeah. Trying to stay consistent with my dieting and only allow myself 1,500 calories a day, so I get junk food or fast food. That's my food for the day. I mean, you know what works for you. I'll tell you what. But like, I tend to I try to eat only one meal. And I just shouldn't say I just eat when I'm hungry, but I often only will eat like 1, maybe 2 meals a day for sure. They're usually big ass meals. So the anime also has a Kentucky. Yeah, in Massachusetts, it's the name. Most are kind of meh. Okay, so I'm seeing a pretty consistent Northeast Coast issue here. I wonder what that is. I wonder if it's like the oil or provided breading or something. Hey, Gobu performer. Aren't they dangerous? Suppose a friend of mine was raving about the show she saw in Gridania. It's the very same. Suppose it's worth a look. KFC is better there. McDonald's in China isn't great either, I can tell you from experience. The KFC is better there. I will say KFC goodness definitely in the States is, I don't know if I want to say regional, but definitely store to store can have a bit of variety. I'll tell you what, I don't know if I just wasn't... KFC in Japan is, I would describe different, but also it doesn't have mashed potatoes, and that's like my favorite thing, so 0 out of 10. Actually, what would 0 out of 10 in, like, I mean, like 0 on Ju, but like what is the out of, like 0 san 0 10 I actually don't know how you'd say that. Let me see if it'll translate as I think. Translate 0 out of 10. Ju10 Shu 0 10. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Popeye Chickens is a better fight me. Better than what? But I will generally... but Popeye Chicken is better than KFC Chicken? I think on average, I wouldn't necessarily disagree, but if you get a really good, fresh, extra crispy KFC, I think in my experience, the high end of that has been better. But I don't think on average I would necessarily fight you on that. I might tend to prefer KFC more often, but I definitely don't think you were wrong. I found that the more rural you are, the worse the quality feels. Yeah, maybe that's part of it, Dest. Especially because I'm in, I mean, for you know, New Hampshire, I'm in one of the more rural places. I mean, I'm sure you can get more rural, but it's not exactly like New Hampshire's huge. I'm used to like rural meaning an hour plus away from any town or city. A Gubu here in Ul'dah? Oh, that dredges up terrible memories of the rampage I witnessed as a child. How do you know that won't happen again? Have you seen this Gubu with your own eyes? Yes, and she's brought countless smiles to the people of Gridania. Is that so? Well, I see no reason why you would lie to me. Very well, I shall go. Perhaps in this way I can conquer my fears. I haven't been to McDonald's in 2 years. McDonald's has forgotten their place when it comes to prices. Dude, no, Ryan, you are absolutely right. Like, you know, you're paying $15 for like a meal half the time. It's ridiculous. It's like fast food has not even become like it used to be. Fast and cheap was kind of the point, right? And that the second part of that has definitely gone the way of the dodo, especially lately. It's only True. If I'm gonna spend $15 for a meal for McDonald's, I might as well go down the street and get a pizza for the same price, but ultimately for more food. Yeah. Nope. No argument here. It saddens me, but no argument here. Further north you go, the more rural you'll get, at least for your state. For me, the further west you go, the more rural it gets. The more east. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I guess that makes sense for New Hampshire. Like, if we look at New Hampshire, for those of you who don't know American geography, this is what the state looks like. Let me see if I can find. This is Concord. I'm basically right around here. So like, it kind of gets more because like you got because that totally makes sense, right? Because you've still got Concord, you got Manchester, Daly-Sam. Like you've got all these, you got all the cities down here, but the further north you go, yeah, the more that makes total sense. Good point, Dest. Yeah, so I'm definitely, for New Hampshire, I'm not in the rural. For New Hampshire, I'm like, effectively, like, you know, I'm like 20 minutes. I'm like probably like, you know, I'm less than an hour outside of Concord, right? So I'm still very much within the confines of you know. I will say, a bunch of parts of New Hampshire do actually just look like this. Like, Like, I went on a train thing last fall, and this is just like what lots of parts of New Hampshire look like. Actually, New Hampshire train ride. Let's see if I. Yep, this is it. This is the one I think I want. I have a photo on that. I think yeah. I was up in one of these. It was very, very pretty. I have photos. I can, Oh, hey, speaking of, one of the things my partner got recently, because she loves getting all the stuff for the fan fests, is I got this. It is a Tombstone phone charger. So I literally can, and it charges my phone. Let me. See if I can find. Oh, I have so many photos of Deadpool. He's so good. Yeah, I don't really have any. I don't have any easy photos to show you guys, but just as an example, like that was just come from photo out the window. Used to go camping in New Hampshire every summer. The forests are lovely. Yeah, definitely. I will say I have spent very little time in the Northeast, in like New England in general, until I moved here. The vast majority of my time had been spent in like the Midwest, the South, not a ton in the West Coast, and like the Southeast. Like the Northeast was probably the part of the states that I had spent the least amount of time in. Or I'd rather spend $25 for 2 people at Whataburger over spending $30 at McDonald's for 2 people. Yeah. Yeah. The quality to cost ratio for McDonald's just isn't there. It just doesn't make sense. My mom would spend 500 pesos, which is $9 for both of us. Nice. I mean, look, I remember it used to be in like high school, I could go spend $6, $7 and get a full meal. So it's definitely, I got I doubled within 10 years. The price of McDonald's has almost doubled, if not has doubled. In Korean drama about a chef going back to the 1800s, switching bodies with a Korean princess, he was able to recreate McDonald's in 1600. What a sentence, AC. Whataburger's quality is a lot higher, I'll say. I had Whataburger for the first time when I was going to FanFest. I think it was Whataburger. Here, let me check that. Maybe it wasn't Whataburger. Maybe it was one of the other ones. No, it wasn't Whataburger. This does look good though. What was Nevada burger chains? In-N-Out. That's what I had. I had an In-N-Out for the first time, and that I'll say In-N-Out. Look, I think all fast food when hyped is less good than it's been hyped up to be, but I do think In-N-Out was actually quite good. Hi, can I tell you about the good word about our Lord and Savior, the Goobu? I didn't know Goobus were capable of anything more than mindless eating. Are you sure this show isn't just watching a beast chomping on hay? So what if it is? You'll have a chance to... The crowds of Gridania gave a standing ovation to this one. Well, when you put it that way. Besides, it's not as if I have aught else to do. All right, look for me among the crowd. The Downeaster. Did I say Downeaster instead of Southeast? Very pretty in the fall, yeah. Also, now I'm missing New England this morning. Sorry, Brian. Sorry. May we see the boy, please? Yes, Yukio, you may absolutely see the boy. I'll go get him in a second. Those Alligans have tombstones for everything. Does In-N-Out have good food? Define good. It's the type of food I love dearly, and I thought it was very good for that. It has a good reputation amongst people who live where it exists. It is a West Coast only chain, yeah. The only burger place I love is Steak Shack. I'm assuming you mean Steak Shack, unless there's actually a place called Shake Shack. Or Shake Shack. Shake Shack. Oh my god. I was thinking Steak and Shake. Yeah. Is Shake Shack in the States is the one I think it is, right? Yeah, Shake Shack in the States is like is pretty mid. I'm just gonna say it in my opinion. I never tried White Castle burgers. Are they good? No, they're awful, but they are S-tier drunk food. White Castle is the best drunk food you can ever imagine. But in terms of like just eating it normally, it's horrendous. Down Easter is the Amtrak train Boston to Maine that runs through New Hampshire. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to take the train here other than taking like very specific, like old antiquated train lines. My thanks, Elio. It seems word has spread even further than I had hoped. And while this is the cause for celebration, Petey appears to be intimidated by this expectant gaze. Of course, you could just hop on her head and she'd calm down just like that. But we can't lean on you forever. Why don't you rally your spirits with some encouraging words, Elio? Seems she's warned you, and I reckon she'd appreciate whatever you have to say. Come on, Petey. You can do it. The people love you. Truth be told, this isn't her first time performing, alone in front of so many people. I can see why her legs won't listen to her heart. Aww. Aww, these are all so cute. Oh, I love all of these so much. Remember how happy you made everyone in Gridania? I'm right here, and Little Lady's Day needs its princess. That did the trick. You really got a talent for lifting the spirits of the downtrodden, Elio. Okay, not gonna lie. Even though I know I've seen that from the opposite angle, where like you can see some of its 3D effects, that mustache does look a little drawn on. I'm not gonna lie. We and your debt, truly. It's almost time Lady Aliapo should have arrived by now. Elio, pray join the bystanders and give Petey your heartiest cheer. Oh, nice. It's very funny, fam. I'll tell you what. And now for the final act. Bedecked in blooming flowers, this Gubu's princess has prepared something unforgettable for all the little ladies out there. Yeah, that is really cute. This is just how I envisioned it in my dream. And to think I ever believed Gubus were not but wild beasts. Oh, I simply adore her. If Hatching Tide is even half of a thrilling show as this, I'd best catch the next airship to Gridania. All is well in the end as well. The Little Ladies' Day get a great show, and Hatching Tide gets some more egg seekers. Their smiles are like so many flowers in full bloom. Petey will be the talk of the Ul'dah for moons to come. Shadow, good to go to have you. That she will. I have to thank you, Miss Aliapo, for giving us both the chance to bring little brightness to so many lives. Yeah, that seems pretty par for the course for you, Yukio. Oh, there's a special NPC cameo? Okay. Thank you, Petey, for bringing joy to the citizens of Ul'dah, especially its little ladies. That was better than I could have imagined. Hatching Tide and Little Ladies' Day both will be remembered as the highlights of the year. Couldn't have done it without your help, Elio. We'll be both looking back on this experience with fondness for the rest of our lives. Speaking of which, I've got... Sorry, give me a sec. Speaking of which, I got to thinking, maybe it's time I leave this performance business behind me and let Petey spread her wings. I think she'd be more happy by your side if you'll have her. As for me, I have it in mind to find a place to settle down and rest these old bones. I hate to tie Petey down just when she's found her passion. I've been bringing her along on your adventures. She'll be able to deliver smiles to corners of the world I've only heard tales of. If you're sure, how could I say no? Truth be told, I only asked you as a formality. I know I've placed her in good hands, Elio. I look forward to hearing of her exploits as while the days away.
I don't mean to be rude, but I am required in Gridania. Nonata must know just how perfectly my dream manifested.
Give the last our regards, eh? I'll stay here in Ul'dah until the festivities end. And who knows, maybe longer.
And with that, allow me to thank you personally, Elio. No princess in all the realm could have asked for a more devoted seneschal. And that includes Petey. Seeing you dote upon her so dutifully reminded me why I volunteered for this position in the first place. Although Petey's show has concluded, Little Lady's Day has not. Pray, enjoy all that we have prepared. And don't be a stranger in Gridania either.
Will players make a great PD wall outside of Ul'dah? I think players may if someone tries to organize it. There's not necessarily the same impetus that there would have been during 1.0. She's Gubu and she's Grace. Oh, that's really funny. Raven, good to glad to have you. At a museum soon. Have a good time. Thanks for popping in. Okay, you said that there was a secret cameo. Let's find that before we move on to the two other things I want to harp upon. Hey, Riggy. I came here during my break to see how the festivities were coming along, but imagine my surprise when I heard all of the performing Gubu. I had to see it for myself.
Riggy do trick! See Riggy do trick!
I love you, Riggy. Hamelin dressed as a...
Eggs! Townberry eggs! Such adorable decorations are to turn townberries from symbols of terror to objects of adoration.
God, I can't believe that was a year ago already that the Tomberry outfit came out. Oh. Huh. Of course, it seems the celebrations are underway. Ah, I loved... I wonder, does he show up if you haven't done Miss the Realm? I assume not. I guess it still would make sense if he showed up even if you hadn't done Miss the Realm. Thank you for your show left, Est. That's very good. He does not if you haven't done it. Okay. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. What we're going to do is I'm going to go throw myself over by the gold saucer thing. Welcome to Goo Burger, home of the Goo Burger. Can I take your order? Goobos are such goobers. Okay, how far away? We're 2 minutes away from a gate. Also, where's my Mog Pendium at? Still need to do some of my objectives. We can worry about that later. Okay, let's pull up the two things that I want to read with you guys. So we already did hit the IGN interview, but what I don't know some of you guys may or may not have read is... also, I want to say that these are from Emily at Strawberry Season on over on Twitter. Second to pull up. But let me get, there we go. Oh, that's part 2, I think. Oh, huh, weird. Well, here, that's fine. I'll just do it this way. Okay. So this is an interview with Yoshi P from PlayMag. In the last 10 years of Final Fantasy XIV have taken the Warriors of Light on a truly epic journey. Players have fought gods, stopped the tide of imperialism, ended a 1,000-year war against dragons, saved a parallel world, and even halted a despair-induced apocalypse. So how on earth can the team behind one of the best MMORPGs ever hope to follow that up? We recently got a chance to speak with Final Fantasy XIV director, producer Naoki Yoshida, aka Yoshi P, his in-game username to fans, to talk about what it takes to make an MMORPG in the upcoming Dawntrail expansion that will see us setting off on a completely new adventure. Developing something on such a huge scale is truly a momentous undertaking. So what has Yoshida learned over the last decade of the game? Yoshida says, if I had to give one example to the Naoki Yoshida from 13 years ago, I would have told him that you need to be careful about pacing, he tells us. When we look at the MMO development, it differs from a standalone game in that when you're going through the development process for a standalone game, it's just very much a short time sprint. Whereas if you were to give an analogy for an MMO, it's more that you're participating in a marathon. You're in it for the long run, and you have to pace yourself appropriately. You need to be able to plan which parts will be going uphill, which parts with work would I be going downhill, what type of weather there would be, and so on. When it comes to MMO development, it's quite important to pace yourself properly and take care in the long run. However, having said that, probably the Naoki from 13 years ago, the only thing he knew is to run forward and sprint all the way. So even if I gave myself that advice back then, I think I would have probably just ended up sprinting anyways. There's more definitely to read about that, but I just want to grab the gate. Oh, fuck this. God damn it. I hate the goddamn silk jumps so much. If we fall twice, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this one. Give me the speed boost. Delicious. Fine. If anyone would like to come join me doing the gates, I would definitely, definitely willing to take company. I know it's a little bit of a weird time because, a lot of you in America are definitely at work currently. Fuck me in a basket. Let's turn off sprint, otherwise I'm going to overshoot it. For our EU folk and other realms, are you guys looking forward to the possibility of being able to play with the NA folk on your mains? Or people like Infinite, are you going to somewhat miss your ulti boy? Oh, that's... Horse cock. Nope. Oh, thank God. Nope. I'm gonna miss that. Yep. Okay. Nope. We're quitting there. Fuck that. To sylph is to suffer, to drink of milk root and drown in anguish. Hope you have a good one, Shadow. What do the ancients call them? Yeah. We can't eat any more tones. Every time I get this one, I just go, Yoshi, please. I love every other one of the jump puzzles. I cannot stand that self one. It's just, I don't know what about it is just, I despise it. In Infinite, I was saying, just like, are you gonna miss like your ulti, your NA ults if you have the capacity to be able to just travel to here on your main? Okay. Next chapter. Fortunately, he's taking all those lessons with him into the development of the next expansion. With Endwalker drawing the saga of Hydaelyn and Zodiark to a close, Dawntrail marks a fresh beginning, but that doesn't mean that the themes of the game will be scaled back. It also turns out that we may never have gotten such a large-scale story arc in the first place. Yoshi P says, I think that it would be great if 7.0 is the beginning of something big, Yoshida tells us. I already have ideas potentially for 8.0 and 9.0 in my head, but when it comes to the questions of whether this will become a long-spanning story arc, I think that depends on the reaction of the players. To give a little bit of context behind this answer, originally when we released A Realm Reborn, I wasn't actually sure if Final Fantasy XIV would be able to develop it into a long-spanning saga, shares Yoshida. So we went on to create Heavensward, and we were working on things in the background. But it was only when we were in the development of Stormblood that I came to the realization that we could create this into a kind of epic saga, and we could develop on this idea of their battle between light and darkness and create something really big for the players. Which, dude, it tracks so much. Like, A Realm Reborn, like, it's established as a whole world because of all the lore and stuff they built up, but like kind of feels like it has to stand alone just in case it doesn't actually get to follow up. Heavensward feels more standalone and isolated. Stormblood is still a little bit more isolated, but it starts to like, you know, you start to get like kind of bigger stuff, but especially into the patch content. And then by Shadowbringers and Endwalker, they really like, oh yeah, we actually like are, you know, more there's much more of a feel of like, oh yeah, we definitely can confidently create like a arc on this. Not at all. She fulfilled her purpose and even got Fall Guys drip. I think I still use my NA maybe bring it to EU every so often. I made Sapphire both to replay the story and observe NA players and compare compared to EU for science reasons. Yeah. And finally play with you with my main, which is actually playing and not hanging under the tree. Looking forward to it for sure. Developed Stormland, that I'd come to the realization that we could create this into a kind of epic saga. We could develop on this idea of the battle between light and darkness and creating something really big for the players. Before getting ahead of themselves, it was more of a case of building in the right opportunities. Throughout the development, I had put in foreshadowing here and there with the hopes that we would eventually be able to deliver the future for the players, says Yoshida. But on the development of 14, it's more of a case of we never just completely developed straightforward. We do have elements of ad-lib here and there, so sometimes we'll switch things around, sometimes we will switch things back. But the ultimate aim that I have is to just create something that excites players, and eventually something that will be epic for our players. A lofty aim. And with Dawntrail already showing ridiculous numbers of things to look forward to, we're excited for the future. We'll soon be exploring the content of Tural, full of dense forest, vast mountain ranges, and a surprise cyberpunk city. In addition to the new areas and dungeons, there are 2 additional jobs: the dual-bladed wielding Viper, the artist mage Pictomancer, a high level cap, it's rising to 100, a new casual type of content called Cosmic Exploration, and a very shiny graphical update, and another race to play as. Really feeling it. Like feline. The race isn't entirely new, as the male Hrothgars have been in the game for some time now, but just as the last expansion saw the formerly female-only Viera get their bunny boy counterparts, Dawntrail will see players finally able to live out their strong cat lady dreams by playing as female Hrothgar, though we nearly didn't get the fearsome athletic look. At one point in the design process, they were cute. Yoshida explains the design process. In general, we always create an internal competition of sorts for our characters. So basically, they will be tasked to pick ideas of what they feel is representative. What we do is initially just create the lore, and we will give that information about the lore to the arts team, but we'll not say anything about the appearance. We leave it up to them to come up with designs of what they think would be appealing, or what they think would be appropriate. And we did the same thing for Viera, although admittedly for Viera, we already had Fran from 12. But we also did the same thing as well for male Hrothgar. The proposed designs featured quite a lot of variation. If I recall correctly, the female Hrothgar we had in general were 8 types, which were proposed, and then from those 8 types, we narrowed it down to 3. continues Yoshida. I was really thinking which one would be good. I picked the final candidates, and then from there we went on to work on the fine details. When we were going through the process, I was quite torn when I was thinking about which type to go for. There was one which was a little bit popular internally, which had a smaller type of build. This was more like akin to, I wouldn't say fairy-like, but it was quite cute and it looked quite good. But when I thought about the typical characteristic of a female Hrothgar, I thought there should already be some notion of them being strong and nimble, and so I was torn. But eventually I went for the current version, which you see now. I chose something which had a more athletic build, but there's more important questions that all players want to know. So actually, before moving on, I think he's completely right. Like one, having the female Hrothgars be like more athletic and strong builds gives us more of a breadth of types. Like we already have kind of more like, you know, thin, cutesy, you know, we've got the female Mikote, we've got the female Aura, you know, etc. I think he definitely made the right choice there. But there's one important question that all players want to know. Can they wear more hats? Yoshi says, regardless of whether it's male or female, we are working on increasing the number of hat variations that we have. Yoshida explains, ultimately, there will be no difference between male and females. Currently, there are some types of headgear which they cannot wear, but we will make more variations so they will be able to wear them. Also, this is a little bit for the cosmic exploration. Final Fantasy XIV already has plenty of casual content that you can noodle around with and enjoy when you're not in a mood for fights, such as Gold Saucer and Island Sanctuaries. But Dawntrail will be aiding another type of activity in the shape of cosmic exploration. Here's what Yoshida could tell us about it. I don't really want to give an impression of how the content would be, but in terms of this content, it's similar to Ishgardian Restoration in the respect that everyone is working towards targets together on the same world. So we continue updates on Island Sanctuary based on player feedback. But this time, the concept is really to play everyone. This page kind of gets cut off, and sadly, I don't think. So I'm going to try my best to read it, but it's a little bit cut off. Contents really play with wanted to combine everyone's endeavors with everyone. On the other hand, with this Guardian Initiation, it was quite a straight run from start to finish. But this time, we will be changing the themes and changing the visuals throughout as the content goes on. So it's basically the idea is just everyone working together on the different planets, and then once the planets are kind of built up, moving on. Imagine if they had made the female Hrothgar like Cat She from 7R with the Irish accent. That kind of cutesy. I don't know that I would even necessarily consider Cat She cutesy. Or Kate Sith, I think is what they have officially gone with. F7R. I mean, like the cat obviously, but like I'm thinking more about the Moogle. I also don't know that, like, it's cute, but I don't know that for Kate Sith I would necessarily say... I don't know. I don't think that's the kind of cutesy he means, for sure. Sun's out. As well as new adventure, Final Fantasy XIV will be getting a fresh look in the form of a graphical update. Graphical update. Environments and characters are set to have a serious makeover from the Dawntrail's release in summer. Though with the game being so large, this won't be an easy undertaking, and we will have to roll out in several stages. So why do it now? One major reason would be that with Endwalker, we were able to bring one big saga to a close. We went through that process, we had players all over the world. They played our game, and they were able to see a clean conclusion to a story that had been spanning for such a long time. I think they would be happy to have seen that conclusion, but I think they probably must have also been a bit concerned about what will happen moving forward. Yoshida starts telling us, when players would see the graphics update, they would realize that Final Fantasy XIV will still push on, and it will still continue driving forward to the future, and take on new challenges. And in that regard, I think it would give players a sense of ease, so that they would not need to worry about that. But it's not just for the long... Like, I love that. That's really, insightful into the fact that the thing is, like, the graphic update is great, and I think he's going to talk more about it in a second, because I remember reading this, but also the importance of, by choosing to do a graphical update, it is implicitly and almost explicitly saying, hey, this game is going to continue to exist, and we are thinking about the long term for it, even after Endwalker. I think that's an important thing. Not just saying, oh, we're going to continue to make expansions, but literally we're investing in the long-term health of it. But it's not just for the long-time players. For the next reason, when comparisons are drawn with our game compared to new games, which are coming out of obviously from an official perspective, people would compare the visuals, says Yoshida. While only 2 new numbered Final Fantasy games have released since Final Fantasy XIV has been released, it's been quite a while since the MMORPG first launched. A Realm Reborn was released 10 years ago, and although when they compare it to the latest games, which are out, or when they think that it's been released 10 years ago, that would give them kind of a sense of a notion that the quality of the game is low. They would think of it as an old game, Yoshida continues. But the important thing with MMOs is that we need to constantly get new players in, otherwise the overall scale of our game would shrink. I also thought that the graphics update is really important to get the younger generations into Final Fantasy XIV, so by implementing the graphics update, we can actually improve the appeal for 14 to those types of players, and he's absolutely right. It's not just players who benefit, but the development team as well. There's a third reason that this is I wouldn't say so much a problem for our development team, but in terms of the mentality that we have in the development team, says Yoshida. A Realm Reborn was released back in 2013, and we look at the graphics pipeline. It's now 2 generations old. The artists who are the artists who are working on Final Fantasy XIV, I wanted to give them a better environment. By being able to work on more advanced graphics technologies, they can advance their career, and they can also be able to work with new features. So, there's a benefit for both in the sense that players can benefit from better quality in graphics, but our artists and engineers in the team can benefit by using more advanced technologies and can advance their own careers. From that side of things as well, there's also efficiencies which we will gain by using better graphical technology. Overall, the graphics update is quite a difficult endeavor, but I think it's because of those benefits we really want to give it our best and see it through. The graphical overhaul joins the technical improvements we've been enjoying on the PS5 since that version launched in 2021. We had optimized our graphics pipeline for the PlayStation 5 version, and we also used the benefits of the PlayStation 5's SSD as a very efficient I/O, which is a technical term for inputs and outputs. The reading of the data on the PlayStation 5 is extremely fast, and we'll continue to make the best of that moving forward as well when it comes to PlayStation 5 version, says Yoshida. We introduced several graphic options which give almost the same playing experience as on the PC. Players can expect to continue enjoying these kind of graphical experiences on the PlayStation 5 moving forward. Gearing up. It's reassuring that Yoshida is keeping both the future of the game and his team in mind. Players also play a big part in shaping the future, as Yoshida makes sure he takes their feedback into account. For example, the approach to the relic weapons, one of the most prestigious weapon types you can earn in-game, has changed with every expansion, and is set to change once again in Dawntrail thanks to player feedback. Yoshi says, naturally I'm not able to give any concrete information for relic weapon quests, because it's still in the planning process. But I do appreciate that some people do say that it's too easy in Endwalker. But on the other hand, generally players are playing many jobs on a single character, so although the weapon itself is easy to make, they can benefit from being able to enhance several weapons for different jobs on the same character. But on the other hand, when we think about players who have been playing for a long time, I think for a lot of them what really sticks in their memory is the original Zodiac weapons, and just how difficult it was to, for example, collect all the materials and to enhance those weapons. And so when we think about it that way, it's great for players to be able to kind of reminisce on that kind of aspect. I want to reiterate that I'm not going to make it exactly the same as it was originally, but I do appreciate that it gives a sense of reward to the players. So I'd like to keep that in mind. We are currently proceeding with our planning for the new content, but I also add that we will have various routes in place in terms of the methods to enhance the weapons. So by that he means is that the same way that Shadowbringers and even in Endwalker, well, Endwalker kind of led you to do almost anything you wanted, but in Shadowbringers you could do like things in Bajia Zadnor or farm fates, so multiple routes. Over 10 years since its launch, Final Fantasy XIV is an online game that's not just going strong, but continues to evolve in exciting ways. That's thanks to, in part, to the development team not afraid to embrace change with each expansion, and to try different things, while also taking care to forge ahead in the right ways. The horizon is looking bright indeed for Dawntrail and beyond. Okay, guys, what do you think? Does that have you excited for Dawntrail? Do you feel like that you're excited that kind of notions of difficulty and or of trying to make it, satisfying and memorable? Dude, Dark Souls Arch Thrones actually has his demo up. For those who don't know, there's been this group that's been doing a Dark Souls like demo, or Dark Souls like mod that's effectively like takes Dark Souls 3 and just makes almost a whole new game of it. I'm definitely interested to see how they implement it. Do any of you bemoan kind of the loss of the convenience that we might get, just because of how convenient the Manderville stuff was? Am I in here alone? Huh. Lai, good to see you, glad to have you. Morning, Elliot, how are you feeling? Still having a lot of brain fog and low energy, lightheadedness and stuff, but trying to do stuff like this, at least stream and get some stuff done. We were just reading some interviews with Yoshi P and some of his stuff on Dawntrail and what have you. Booyah, baby. Oh, don't worry, Lai. It's all good. I'm glad that I'm just up and doing something today, and I want to continue to be working on that. I only have like 14 days. I only have 2 weeks to work on it, but I really want to work on my April Fool's video. I don't want to miss that. Even if I don't get any other videos out for a little bit because I'm still struggling a bit, I love that yearly tradition of doing a Gobby-based April Fool's video. I feel bad for any players with Vertigo doing this. I'm convenient for you for your first relic weapon, but I can see that if you've been around for a while, it can be annoying. So yeah, do the side quest series and get it for free. Yeah, or at least it's not memorable. I'll say I've been around and I like it, but I definitely, there's a lot of old timers that have who didn't like that there wasn't a grind that was specific. Was one of the big things on repeat. I remember talking to Jade and all sorts of people where the thing is what's funny to me is they wanted a specific grind rather than being able to do anything. I wonder if they need tanks right now. I come from RuneScape. I was born to grind. Yeah, 14 days. Yeah. Now, if anything, a bump in difficulty and loss of convenience will embolden me towards goals I can feel good about once I achieve said goals. See, it's funny, Ryan, because for me, it's the opposite way around. It's frustrating for me because, I guess I have a hard time relating to that. I'm not denying it. I'm not saying, it's denying that experience or anything. But, I have a hard time relating to, with the system as it is now, I can just do anything effectively and be working on progress towards getting all the Manderville weapons. I don't find the Shadowbringers stuff more memorable because I was made to do Bajia Zadnor. I didn't find the Eureka stuff more memorable because I was forced to do Eureka. I hate the Zodiac weapons, and I find them memorable, but only in a PTSD-related way, in terms of I fucking hate the books, and the Atma was kind of just boring. But I don't have stamina anymore to grind like I used to. I returned to Hearthstone to see how bad the game has become, but currently having fun steamrolling everyone with my old mech mage deck. Send help. If you're doing dailies, I can hop on if you want. Yeah, I think the two things I want to do is I'm gonna pop up. I might literally try to work on the Gobby script. Here's my plan. Here's my plan for. Here, April Fool's Gabi 3rd. Let's see. Let me pull my sticky notes. I should have my ideas for what the April Fool's video should be. God, I have so many ideas of stuff I want to do. Wish I had energy. Okay, so here's the idea I think I've been most excited about for the April Fool's video. It's nothing but Tome Fix trying to talk about some subject. Or Elio. But keeps getting interrupted by Tome Fix reading Eorzean ad reads version of YouTube things. So like, you know, like Raid Shadow Legends, imagine like Eorzean equivalent of Raid Shadow Legends. So I would like want to come up with a list of like all the like, for you, those of you who watch YouTube regularly, what are some like really common ad reads that you like that pop up? Like Raid Shadow Legends. Low T April Fool's League. Hey, I mean, this is the good stuff, right? You get to see this ahead of time. I've heard a solution for Lex is having a long grind for your first weapon, then you can buy the next one with tomes. I feel like it'd strike a good balance. I feel like I like that, and I'd be down for that. I'd be curious, Light, if that actually would solve the problem for a lot of people, because I feel like people who want to be able to grind them want... Like, Shadowbringers actually in some ways kind of did that a little bit, in that it had like a lot of extra parts for your first one that weren't with the multiple ones, and people hated that. And then, technically speaking, the grind is not really a grind, but in Shadowbringers is that you had to do, or in Endwalkers, that you had to do the story for Hildebrand, and that's completely different, doesn't really count, but yeah. BetterHelp, which is also a whole pile of controversy. You know, BetterHelp's really interesting because I have a lot of people who it's really helped, despite like some of their complicated and shitty practices. VPN, NordVPN. I love how you all like immediately start talking a whole bunch with the second I ask for YouTube ad read stuff. Y'all have some experience. What is it, Ad Shark or whatever it's called? Let's increase the size so you guys can actually see something. A Spanish version of Swiffer, Sweeper, or Clorox products. Okay, I'm just gonna put common Spanish ad because I want to make a joke about Spanish-speaking goblins because of the moblins. Moblins. ¿Qué pasa? Moblins. Spanish-speaking goblins. Surfshark. That's not Ad Shark. Surfshark. That's what it is. Surfshark. Atlas VPN. I don't think I've heard of Atlas VPN, but I'll add it. Atlas VPN. I got Freedom Rhythm, Final Bar line, and Final Fantasy Torch have a unique goblin model. Oh, do they? Wait, here, let's look it up. Theater Rhythm, Final Bar line, goblin. Let's see what pops up. Is it just this one? Oh, it's interesting. He's got a little staff. One I often get is Grammarly. Okay, yeah, Grammarly. That'd be funny, especially Grammarly, goblins and how they talk. I'm kind of just like also writing what the joke is. VPN. What's protection? better help. Lack of therapy in Eorzea despite adventurers facing hell. Raid Shadow Legends, something about raiding. Also I see Air Up. What the fuck is Air Up? I watch so much YouTube. I have no idea. I feel like, fam, you're getting things I mean, I guess also we're in different places, right? So Air Up. I mean, this definitely looks like something. Okay, I haven't. That's one I haven't seen, but I'll add it. Air Up. Staying hydrated. Tasting history usually advertises trade coffee. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Trade coffee. I've definitely seen. I don't get those because I hate coffee, but I definitely have seen them. Coffee subscriptions. Oh, you know what? You don't see them as much as you know. I know they don't do them anymore because it's a scam. But establish titles. Joke about owning false lands or being fake king of the goblins. What's a good joke around the coffee subscription? Caffeinated gobby. Seeing a lot of memes about these ads that ran in Chile 20 years ago. Oh, the Star Wars ones. I know what you're talking about. Instead of the beer commercials in the Star Wars movies. Yeah. Star Wars beer commercials. Insert beer/drink into MSQ shots. Okay, that's actually a really funny joke. I like that. Shark VPN sounds like something an ancient would make after the shark craze. Yeah. Yes, you sure for me. Yeah. Cerveza Cristal. Yeah. Let's do surveys. Was it V? Cerveza Cristal. For those of you who don't know, let me pull this up. Oh shit. Well, I definitely missed it. Yeah, definitely missed that. Well, Cerveza. Can I get you guys to let me know every time it's the 20? So like 1220, 1240, 1260. So a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was a beer company that inserted its beer into Star Wars shots, like on like the TV. So like these aren't fake. These were actually things that they aired.
I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father.
I wish I'd known him.
He was the best star pilot in the galaxy. And he was a good friend. Which reminds me, I have something here for you.
That was real. Like they actually did that. They're like,
ancient weapons are no match for a good life. Make me believe there's one all-powerful force controlling everything.
it literally fucking Obi-Wan turning off the reactor. So Eorzea Cristal, that's the joke. Eorzea Cristal, okay. It gives water taste by scent chips, which looks weird to me since water here isn't disgusting. What? It gives water taste by scent chips. Oh, are you talking? Oh, The air up thing, fem? That's crazy. Liberty Mutual ads? Fermented coffee beans they use for brewing, like how they fermented the gabi cheese, but for drinking. Yeah, there's something there. There's definitely something I can add. I'll add that to the list. Caffeinated gabi, fermenting beans like gabi cheese. Demons, good to see you. Glad to have you. Good morning to you as well. Just imagine a Disney watermark. I mean, crystals are a big part of the series, so why not survey? Oh. Okay, let's write a couple of these down. Eorzea, crystal, surveys. I don't know that I could do Cerveza crystal. I like Eorzea crystal. I think there's a good joke there. I think I like that. Okay, give me a second. Whew. Okay, I got 4 minutes to the next thing. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go get some water, and I'll get the boy so you guys can have the boy. Can I get? So right now, what we're working on is I'm trying to get a little bit of work done because I have done no work in quite a few days because of all this. But yeah, right now we're coming up with a list of like YouTube ads, like common YouTube ads. So if people want to list off any things that we haven't done listed so far about like YouTube ads that you get, please go for it. Okay, I've got the boy. Okay. First off. Over. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Oof, duh. Oh. You wave it to people. Thank you. Would you like down? Oh. Good job. Does Ilio have the consumption? I mean, a little bit. I mean, honestly, at least if I had tuberculosis, I wouldn't have so much mental fog and mental fatigue. Man, just walking up and down the stairs to get the water was something, I'll tell you what. Yes, Ray, good to see, glad to have you. Good morning. Elio is a Victorian child. Good morning, fellow Kenji fans. Maybe we should also figure out what exactly is the topic of the speech getting interrupted. Good idea, fam. I also remember getting ads for Made In, which are steel pans. I don't think I've ever gotten any of those. All Made In. I don't know. I've never heard of that. Or the protagonist of the 16th century French novel. Look, am I constantly walking around with a certain amount of psychosexual ennui? Yes, but that's not important. Do I hear Golden Saucer music, or has I been spending the last week playing out on a limb for 16 hours a day, finally broken my mind? Both can be true. Both can be true. Thank you, Fem, for the reminder. Please don't be. Thank God. Oh. It is so much. It is funny how much like seriously, like my partner just trying to talk to me a lot of time the past couple of weeks has been hard. Like just trying to function kind of at all has been like a little bit all over the place. But just like my brain just can't seem to get it together very well. But like performing, there's something, must have been something about like kind of doing streams for like 2 years or what have you, that like kind of like being on, my brain's kind of like has the capacity to just like kind of be on a little bit better while like being on stream or pushing past. I don't know how to frame it. The boy is laying on my feet. I am blessed. And I'm gonna have to go down. That was my bad. I should have done the safe jump instead of the fast jump. Oop. God, I love this so much more than the Sylph one. Ooh. Am I better off trying to... No, I can't. Okay. Is it faster up that way, or is it going to be... The only thing about acorn levels is the acorn hat chat. I watch a lot of cooking channels. I mean, my viewing habits are weird. Well, that explains a lot, Light. Ever since I had COVID, I've noticed a marked decrease in my short-term memory. Yeah, I definitely, first time around, I definitely had that issue. This second time around, the big thing has been energy. I just feel like a 70-year-old man all the time. I generally forget words in the middle of sentences a lot more often now, yeah. I think you're just getting old, Vince. Right, get off my lawn. Okay. Okay, let's look up, let's pull that back up. And yeah, Fem, I think that's a good idea about figuring out the structure. But first, let's common YouTube ads. Ads leaderboard, what the fuck is that? Oh, interesting. Top viewed ads. YouTube mid-roll ads. That's not working. Was not expecting to have a hard time actually finding a list. I've never seen or heard of any of these. I've never gotten any of those. Oh, you know what? I part of it is I think I'm looking at ads instead of sponsors. I should be looking at sponsors. Mint Mobile, yep. Maiden, Mint Mobile. I'm gonna put the ones that I think that like slightly separate category. Sponsorships. Notable sponsors. Here we go. AG1, Occupento, Asus, Atlas, AirUp. Okay, see AirUp. See, it's definitely Audible. Oh, Audible. Of course, Audible. I don't know how I didn't. I've used Audible for years. How did I not? I used Audible. Audible used to be like Netflix. You would rent like audio VHS audio like cassette tapes. Like that's how long ago I started using Audible. Blue Apron. BetterHelp, we got that. Brilliant. Right now, I'm just putting the ones that I know I get a lot. Brilliant. Cash App. Casper Masters' Casper. Crunchyroll. I weirdly don't get Crunchyroll that often. I think it knows that I don't watch that much anime and I read more manga. Curiosity Stream, definitely get that. Dark Nemesis Infinite Quest. D-Brand. I know D-Brand, but I don't really get it. Display, definitely get Display. DoorDash. I don't really get DoorDash, doesn't add that much. But you know what? Let's do DoorDash because we definitely can do like the Hippo Riders or a joke. There's a good joke there. G Fuel. I don't get G Fuel as an ad. Oh, ExpressVPN. That was the other one. Oh, I had ExpressVPN. Genshin Impact. Genshin as an. I don't know what the joke is though for like selling another game like as an ad. Like I don't. That doesn't. Keeps. There's a funny joke there for sure. So keeps. Nebula, definitely get Nebula. PCB Way. I do get PCB Way a lot, but I feel like that's a very that's very niche. I don't even know what the joke is there. SeatGeek, definitely get SeatGeek. Or I don't get SeatGeek that much, but it definitely is one I see a bit. Skillshare. I don't actually get Keeps that much now I think about it. It's just that in Philip DeFranco, there's just often Skillshare, SeatGeek. Timu. I love that it just says Timu and then just has scam parentheses next to it. War Thunder. Oh, definitely War Thunder. War Thunder / World of War Tanks and all those guys. Yeah, okay. That's War Thunder, World of War Tanks. We don't have DoorDash here, but we do have Uber Eats and Deliveroo. Yeah, do we have Deliveroo in the States? DoorDash. I mean, like Uber Eats / Grubhub, that kind of thing. Well, I remember the time Crunchyroll did sponsorships. Yeah, that was for a while. I got Curiosity Stream and Brilliant a lot, and the thing is, I don't even watch that much of an educational YouTube. HelloFresh. Oh yeah, did we put HelloFresh on there? Because if not, yeah, HelloFresh for sure. I guess that really goes with like Blue Apron. Squarespace, yes. How did I forget? Squarespace. Gamer Subs? What the fuck is Gamer Subs? I don't know that one. I keep getting ads for a mobile game called Bloodline, and it's interesting. And it's... Am I going to be scared to see this? Bloodline mobile game. Okay, Demins, the fact that you... Yeah, that... This is a game made for Demins. My sister got me a freebie from HelloFresh once, and it was a nightmare getting rid of them. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's usually how a lot of Raycons. Yes, Raycons. Raycons. Link Pearl joke. That joke writes itself. Boop liked the like button. Why? Why not? Yeah. Mint Mobile. Generic anime girl game. Yes, we have Rady Shady. I love how y'all are going crazy now that we're doing this list. Just a picture of a pregnant wolf girl in a wedding dress, and I have so many questions. Squarespace, gamer subs. Yeah, definitely an Arcosodra joke for the DoorDash, yeah. I still won't ever play it, but they clearly know my search history. 14 ad copy pasta. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, FFXIV copy pasta meme. There's something in there, yeah. Generic car company ads. Car ad. Delivery dude. Another energy drink, man. Interesting. Game subs. Oh, that's why I don't get this one. Because I'm like not about its cups and marketing. Dude, I love aestheticism. I will go to bat to defend people's sexuality and people being able to like enjoy what they like. But for me, I just don't enjoy, like, especially like on just like the stuff I own. This is not for me. Okay, that one's a little funny. I'll admit that one's a little funny. So yeah. Manscaped. Okay. Yep. Herescaped. What is like? What's the joke here? Herescaped. 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 Did we get a consensus on how new versions should sound? Like award-winning expansion Heaven's Word and debatable expansion Stormblood. To be fair, Stormblood's still an award-winning expansion. Like Heaven's Word expansion meme. Have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV with an expanded free trial, which you can play through the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the as well as Heaven's Word and the award-winning Stormblood expansion up to level 70 for free? Yeah, it would be what I would say, because like Stormblood is still award-winning. Hymns? What's hymns? Hymns. Ad. Ah, erectile dysfunction ads, of course. I feel like at that point I would do Blue Chew. But I'll throw it on the list. You know, we can always pare it down later. Hymns, Blue Chew. Made in sponsorship. YouTube. Made in ad. Made in cookware. Okay, made in cookware is the name of the whole thing. Or is it made? I don't know. I feel like there's a good joke in there, but I don't even know like the vibe of the ad to be able to parody it. We're blubbing a word for the most, drawing out until the good content. I'm gonna call bullshit. Here's why. The battle The assault on Rhalgr's Reach is good. And it doesn't draw that out. And you do not do much in Heaven's Word at multiple points where things are drawn out throughout multiple maps before you start to do much at all. Like, not a lot really happens of interest in your first minute visit to the Sea of Clouds. And arguably the most interesting thing that happens in the Kurthus Western Highland is when you actually finally get to talk to the Iceheart. And then the Forelands doesn't have that much that's interesting, really, other than maybe fighting Ravana. And it's only once you get into the Churning Mist that things actually start to take off. The most interesting man of the Gabi in the... Yes!
I don't drink often, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis.
Yes, Dos Equis. I know that's probably spelled wrong. Listen, considering the overall tone of comedy in 14, I know there's some quests or NPCs talking about Eorzean means of dealing with erectile dysfunction. I know for fact that there are, I just don't remember where. Hymns, Hildebrand joke. Man, maybe there's... We get a consensus... Okay, let's get back to Fem's point. What is the underlying thing that Elio is trying to talk about? Because there's two ways to approach the joke, where it is either I'm trying to talk about it in subject matter and it keeps getting interrupted, but I am getting through parts of it, or Elio keeps trying to start talking about it, but is never able to get to it because he keeps getting interrupted by Tome Fix. But then when you get to the end, it turns out the thing that Elio was trying to talk about the whole time was actually a sponsorship in its own right. Like, those are the two ways to run that joke in my mind. The game that has a goblin named Holpix would never stop to stoop to such humor. For Mason X-Gate. Thank you, Ray Ray. Ah, Ray Ray. Dependable. Trustable. Not like me. Woo! God, I'm such a mess. Boy, you're so cute. Oh, here you go. Elio trying to do a sponsorship ad for the Charlean Diploma Mill. Okay, wait, actually, okay. Community college ad. The Studium. Doing like a community college style ad, but it's for the Studium would be really funny. It's in the event square. Thank you. It is 40, so it should be any way the wind blows, if I'm not mistaken, unless they changed it when they changed the gate times. Or at least there's a chance that it'll be any way the wind blows. Ooh. Generic over-the-counter medicine with a whole lot of side effects. See, but now we're not talking about YouTube sponsorships. The joke there is just ads in general, and I do want to try to keep it somewhat more like on that like YouTube ad sponsorship like joke. Get rid of that. And I want to watch that with you guys after this. Close that. You fool and bamboozle. Like, it starts like a normal video and Lore Video has an incredibly vague title like Charlean Secret, but then gets interrupted by Tome Fix. The Gabi leads blend for the whole video to turn out to be an ad for Charlean or something. I like it. I mean, historically, like the first video, like, you know, the first video we did was like the darkest secrets of something blah 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 revealed, and then it was Tome Fix doing a video on goblins, and then we had obviously Live in La Vida Gabi. Okay, but like, what is a subject matter that would like be really interesting. Okay, here's a question. If you were gonna make a lore video on about something that was really clickbaity for 14, what would you guys choose? What would you guys, if you wanted to get the most amount of people to watch, and you didn't care how, like, you set aside your morals for a second, what would you make it about? Because I'm bad at this, because I actually probably have a bad ear and eye for what people want to watch, because I care so much about, like, actual deep cut lores and stuff. Then we have proof as to how the time bubble works. It's an idea. It's an idea. I like it. I like it. Anything on Dawntrail? Okay. Race interbreeding. We've already made that video. Maybe the locations of Dawntrail endgame cities, and then it's all ads. Okay. So all you guys think that the most foul thing to do by far would be to, like, pretend to know something about Dawntrail? Cut material from 1.0. Dawntrail plot leaked, not clickbait. My other partner, who's Deadpool's owner, I think just got home from her date. So he was like, I want to go out, let me out. Yeah, my info. Yeah, I think, like, I am asking for the worst things so we can walk it back a little bit. But, like, let's both confirm, not clickbait, 10,000% real. I'll definitely get clicks. Yeah. Can I ask you guys kind of a weird thought? And I know, like, I always do this thing where I ask people and you guys are, like, of, you know, uncertain mind about some stuff. Like, if I needed to, while I was sick, make a bunch of video that were just, like, me talking to camera, like, real face and stuff, how like, weird do you think, like, some people might find that, or, like, be put off by it? Because, like, the Eorzean archives have been so defined by that, like, sort of in-character game, sort of LEO as a character thing. I don't know. It's one of those things where I can't tell. It's like, I don't know if people just straight up don't care at all, or... Because I'm just thinking about maybe if that would help try to lower production time so that I could do stuff while still being a little bit under the weather. Your naked face? You, yeah. Who would want to gaze upon such a thing? You make it a separate series? What do you mean a separate series? Do you mean like a separate channel or what? You shouldn't lose Elio as a character completely. He's charming. Maybe a VTuber avatar. I'm gonna say I can't stand, no, like, VTubing is just not at a place where it's good enough for me, in my opinion. Like, the mouth syncing and everything just doesn't sync up. Oh, I'm gonna get hit. It would likely be weird to move away from Elio. Well, I'm not saying, you guys are misunderstanding me. I'm not saying move away from Elio. I'm saying, plus it might mess up the algorithm. If anything, let me tell you this just to be frank. The algorithm doesn't really care about that. It just cares about if you're constantly putting things out. If you want to mess yourself up in the algorithm, take a break. And don't put things out. Just to be frank. Like, you can watch this on my channel, you can see it on other channels. Like, just frankly, I don't think that real life me is the thing that would cause that issue. That issue as you can watch that anytime I've ever taken any kind of break is the time when our videos have been, like, irrevocably dip and have a hard time ever coming back. And I'm not saying like we would permanently switch over to that. I'm just saying, like, right now I'm not putting anything out other than these streams on T Live, and it's really, really bad for the channel. That's just a reality. Huzzah. Okay. Oh, right. I wanted to watch that Dark Souls thing. I don't think a few vids with your actual face would kill the channel. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the other thing that is worth pointing out is that there already is 100+ videos with my face on the channel because the streams are on the channel.
To the Nexus, lost soul. The archthrones require a great many souls, so that the linking of the fire may commence it.
Oh, that's so cool. It combines so many elements of Sekiro, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 2, and 1 all together.
Be aware, even in death does the High Lord rule. In seance with the necromancer, Obadiah. Do not disturb them, if you can help it.
If we meet again, pray for mercy. We shall dance, and we shall die.
That looks cool as shit. Definitely gonna play that one out. I'm not sure what people watch for. Yeah. I feel like people watch for personality, people watch for information, people watch for a bunch of different things. One of the difficulties too is with 114 is a niche on a niche, but also like the thing is not a lot of people necessarily use their subscription button too. So if you're not constantly putting out content, people aren't in like the habit of checking on your content, which is like, it just is what it is. But clearly you guys seem pretty against it, so that is good to know. I guess I'll just forgo that idea then. I just miss being able to like make videos and like talk about, like I have so many hundreds of things I want to talk about in this game. And my what was it? My reach exceeds my grasp in terms of my drive versus my energy levels. But this is not Elio's bitchin' session, so let me pull up a couple things. I want to do a couple things. I'm gonna sit here for a second. I'm gonna send a couple messages. Okay, sent a message there, send a message to Chris, Crystal Core, Rokon, that's handled, Ray's handled, Raven's handled, Penny, I need to respond to it well, I guess there's no, okay. Gregorius, good to see you, glad to have you. I thought this lore one. This is live channel, I thought this is lore one. No, this is T-Live, yes. So this is more where we like kind of things are a little bit more low key. If I, for instance, am currently sick or, we want to do other things. Every LO, that's also true. Every LEO channel is lore channel. But you can always talk about lore and stuff here. It's never a bad time to talk about lore. let's... Oh, do I still have my thingy-mabooper up? I do still have my thingy-mabooper up. That's from Indolent Imperial. Southern Danelin 2441. I don't think I have that unlocked yet, so I'll set that aside. I think I need to unlock Storming the Hull to do that, and so let's head out. Let's go to Limsa. Yes, I need to unlock Hullbreaker Island Heart. Hey, Des, did you say you were willing to join me? I might need to do a run of Hullbreaker Island Hard. We're getting serious. That should be Storming the Hull, yeah. I haven't done it synced before, sure. I guess I could just do it unsynced. That's true. I can log in if you need people. Yeah, good question. I mean, we can probably just... I can probably just do it unsynced via... Just want to say thank you for explaining stuff that most of the time I don't get and forget what's going on before. Thank you, man. Yeah, 100%. I love fucking making videos and helping with that stuff. So and if there's anything in particular you still got, man, that you've want explained, I'd love to add it to my list of things I want to take care of as soon as I'm feeling better. Hey, no, right, good to go live. On Sardinia, it's an instance. Though. Yeah, I'll just do it on synced. It'll be faster. Well, Lou's back in Limsa. Man and Chief were talking about you at the wench, you know. Come to think of it, wait here. I'll go get him. It's a resting day, but he won't speak to you something about Hullbreaker. Glad to see you're back, Elio. Every time I hear your name, I'm reminded of how you helped me salvage the coffer from Hullbreaker Island. You did me a great favor, lad. Though the rumors of Miss Spear's treasure soon died down, I couldn't abide the thought of having the Har picked apart by vultures. So I petitioned the Admiral to sanction the establishment of a camp on the island for the purpose of hosting training exercises. I reasoned that the place was remote enough to give our recruits a proper taste of combat. But the truth be told, when all the administrative duties asked of them these days, I'm more worried about our finest going soft. Sparring with your comrades might keep the rust from your blade, but it won't stop it going dull. That being the case, I thought I might ask you for a little help in the little sharpening exercise. Remind them what it feels like to be in a real fight. I had Chief was hoping you might run the Maelstrom training gauntlet and give our elitist good a going and over nothing too rough, like just a few missing teeth and odds cracked rib. Savvy? Assuming you're willing, come and find me at Morby Dry Dock when you're ready, and I'll arrange a passage to Hullbreaker. For you and your mates. Oh, man. Since YouTube, we're contractually obligated to say like, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Ray Ray. Oh, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. Okay. Okie dokie doke. Okie dokie dokie doke. I really appreciate how quickly you unlock the... That's kind of cute. You unlock the hard mode dungeons. Ever since we took control of that rock, it's been my job to keep an eye on the skies over Cassial days. With the misty mane of the dark sea pulse sweeps in, there ain't no point waiting to anchor as you can see in them in front of your face. Long story short, I'd start here and watching the weather, but I'll be listening out for word of how you get on. Thanks for agreeing to do this, by the way. Having a fabled hero like yourself going through the same regime as the infantryman will do wonders for morale. I'm having a hard time keeping it up today. Anyway, the weather seemed to be behaving just now, so let me know when the crew's ready to be ferried over. We'll get everything else in place in the meantime. Giving them Storm Elites a bloody nose for me, eh? Do y'all miss hard mode dungeons? I guess, like, we all want more dungeons, right? I presume. But, like, were any of you guys around when hard mode dungeons were being released? Because there were times where we got, like, 3 dungeons in a patch. Was hard? Yeah, it was hard. Oh, hey. Ray, am I crazy? Was this used in Limpsa in 1.0? Welcome, Lieutenant Fortron. Let's get the main muscles warmed up, shall we? Now knew what hit him. Not that I'm surprised if a handful of raptors given you any trouble. Gods only know what they'd have done to the rest of us. To be honest, I didn't know how hard dungeons were a thing when they were being released because I used to be not as diligent as to read the patch notes. Yeah. I mean, I guess like if you're not doing all the quests upon release, it can make sense that you might miss it. Dealing with unpredictable fiery brutes like these, sharpen the reflexes. Pick up the pace, soldiers. This ain't even the small fry. Nothing gets the blood pumping like a scrapping with a pack of ravenous beasts. When was the last time we got more than one dungeon in a patch? It was Stormblood, right? I'm still shocked by the fact that Copperbell Heart exists. Tap of these primeval instincts. The curl. Speaking of which, let loose the curl. Now you're all nice and limbered up. We'll let you loose on some more civilized targets. Wait, is that Roswin? I totally forgot you fought Roswin. Expecting wet-nosed mess from pups, were you? Then you're in for a treat. The sirens are here to give you a proper diring. Tisk. Don't nobody ever tell you elves have no fury like a woman scorn. Sound the bell, O Lady of the Infernal. Make ready the cannons. Forward battery, fire! Cross spread, fire! Now we're getting things like Varying Dungeons, those. I prefer them to the old dungeons redressed. Yeah. That's a very fair point. They actually, starting with Endwalker, have actually replaced the fact that we don't have hard modes. It's really only Shadowbringers that, like, it's only Shadowbringers that was really dungeon deficient comparably. We didn't get we also got a deep dungeon in Endwalker that we didn't get in Shadowbringers. I kind of hate hard dungeons, but I like little bit story in it. Yeah. I definitely like I kind of like dungeons redressed in that you get to see some, like, other things in some of the places. And I like the bits and bobs of story, too, for sure. But, like, Mechanically, I don't find the hard dungeons that great. I mean, they're a hell sight better than some of the normals were, but especially like once Copperbell was reworked, like some of the earlier dungeons were reworked. Hell, I'd say that in some ways, like now the reworked early dungeons are actually better than some of the hard dungeons mechanically, which makes sense. I also didn't do any of the blue side quests, as was evident in a few streams back. Yeah. But you know what the nice part, Brian, is? Once you've done them, you're permanently done. That's the fun thing. I had no idea this put you up against the Sirens. I feel like that somewhat excites you, Ray Ray. You definitely, Roswin seems someone who's up your alley. Hey, and it's Carvalin. I was just talking to your mentor, or your mentor's widow, not too long ago. Best of the Sirens already. Why, Roswin would scarce have had time to swear herself hoarse. No matter. I'm come to test the worth of Kraken's newest acquisition. Trust you will oblige me. You seem to be keeping up with her quite well. Thus far, at least. Didn't mention that Ymir has a hidden talent. Seem I wasted my coin. Very well. Victory is yours. Be on your way. To be fair, I'm not going out of my way to get new dungeons, especially AR dungeons. I'm rather disappointed that Hydaelyn is needed to unlock apartments, locked behind guild quest hunt. So, question about like disappointment. I don't like. Maybe this is just like my oversensitivity to negativity, but like, I feel like it's so inoffensive to like just do one dungeon run. It's like, okay, cool, one time. Oh, it wasn't that great, you know. I feel like I don't know. It's not like they're asking you to do like a major grind or anything, but. You know, maybe that's just my willingness to put up with more bullshit that, you know, people would rather just not have to deal with any of the side things that they don't want to deal with. Are low tide and high tide brothers ever mentioned in anything else? Because I don't feel like I have any memory of them in anything. Any Roswin Carvalho business entertains me, yeah. Knights of the Barracuda, to your positions! I have definitely heard of the Knights of the Barracuda. Zavinels, to think that I spoke of our skill at arms. Hey, speaking of, I've long awaited the chance, Lieutenant Forgeron. Oh, she notices your rank. Lieutenant Tide plays a part in Aloe variant dungeon. I mean, are you making a joke about literal low tide and high tide? Because I'm talking about those Rogadin brothers. I don't know if I can't tell if you're making a joke, Dest. I just really dislike the design of Hydaelyn. I'm rather scared to get it as a tank and get lost. Those unlocks do not return in roulettes. Do return. Those and those do unlocks. Interesting. Okay, that's it. I see some of your point in choosing to do the roulette that now it's permanently affixed to your options of things that you could end up getting. I have a personal ethos design of if you're choosing to do the point of doing roulettes is that you're helping other players and you are unlocking something and you are getting rewarded for doing so, but that doesn't really necessarily negate your point. So this says you giving the main pirate faction a workout. Yeah, basically. Main pirate faction's a workout, yeah. Just in case. Yeah, no, all good, Des. I just wasn't sure if you were making a joke about it. Okay. Ooh. Sarah, good to see you. Glad to have you. I do see your point. I will say, To be fair, though, Feb, I feel like if you unlock every dungeon, what's the statistical likelihood that you'll ever pull it up? Which doesn't, again, just because it's not a common problem does not mean it's not a problem. This dungeon is you giving the main power factions a workout, and the dungeon with Gracefulger is you slapping his own children so he doesn't have to. You're not wrong. God, it's so weird to spend time in Limps, having played 1.0. I really do wish you could look down and see all the people in the problem is they really can't ever fix, like, the problem is that, like, some of the loading zones are now actually cheated in such a way that, like, you can't really make them align. Wow, was that? Did you get them at least hitting at their lives or what? Come on, out with it. Patience, lad. All of them, sir, will know the tale ere long. 'Twas a sight to behold, that much I will say, Elio. And Elio and his comrades carved their way through beasts and men like cutters through a swell. Not even a visit from the sirens and the krakens could slow their pace. Hey, pirates turned up at the drill. What the seven hells do they want? Why, to do their civic duty, of course. They invited themselves as members of the Black Sails Unit. You'd be forgiven for forgetting, but the pirates' powers are still bound to the Maelstrom by the Gladian Accord. Of course, they never deigned to take part in our exercises, and we've long since stopped asking. As for why they chose to grace this one, I reckon word got out that the Warrior Light will be facing our finest. They fancy to go themselves. I saw no reason to deny them. Admit it. You want to see them there old cutthroats still hold their own in a fight. Begging your pardon, Chief, but are you all right? You look a bit sore. Don't tell me yet. I deemed it a good for morale, but I did not come here to speak of that. Elio, the Maelstrom is grateful for your participation. May you sail with us till the sea swallows all. Good day, gentlemen. You know what another thing that's nice about dailies is that once you're Omni-ID, you don't really have to do them again except for if you want to get tomestones. I'd stowed away down that ferry if I had known the Chief be fighting. Seeing the action must have woken the spirit out of the Golden Age in him. Lad Daddy's as spry now as he was back then. Hope he didn't give him too bad a beating. Legends like Misby would never get old, but the Chief, well, he's just a man. But let's keep this little chat between ourselves, eh? Good to see you again, Elio. Thanks for helping out the Chief. Brought to you by Tomefix. Oh. Y'all have a favorite dungeon? Actually, I mean, I don't have them all on Elio, but if I had to come up with a favorite dungeon, I mean, honestly, most of the expansions are kind of better than the last, really. Lose Observatory was okay. Aether Font had some good bosses. Final boss wasn't great. Lapis Manalis. It's good. Felcor Troya. Fuck the first boss. Alzadal. Alzadal's a pretty fucking good dungeon, and it lets you do some things that really let you speed it up if you're good at. Dead Ends obviously is great. Smileton's really good. So is Sigma Scape. Aeshioscope's a pretty good dungeon. Catesis is a pretty good. Catesis can slow down in some ways, but there's some ways that you can speed up that are nice. Venice Body's a nightmare, but not in a fun way. Cabal's okay. Really like the Zot bosses, that they're actually a challenge, can be a challenge. When is now I'm curious, like, when is the first time that there's been a dungeon, if I go backwards, that I'm like actively really mad on? Toys Relics pretty good. Heroes Gauntlet's pretty good. Amnesis and Niter's pretty, yeah, it's pretty good. Grand Cosmos pretty good. Winning's pretty good. Amrot's pretty good, accessibly theming wise. Mount Golg's pretty good. Malik as well. That's fine. It's good. It's fine. Katana Ravel's fine. Don Mag is cool. Womanster Switch. A little basic, but especially theming wise, very good. Like, what's the first one historically going back that I'm really mad on? Hell's Lit at least has some interesting things about it. Scala. It's funny because like it's not even that I like any of these are meh on. It just I feel like literally the further back I go, the more like steadily I like the dungeons just less and less in almost a linear fashion. I think my favorite from End is Catesis. Any particular reason? Sure, this is the guy who has the bench. Sticks. Oh, I guess I must not be able to do it because I need to do license to read. Warden invites you to take a job for the Kraken's Arms, one of the Luminous' greatest pirating crews. If you're interested, seek out Captain Carvalhan, who awaits above. Oh, okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. You want for coin adventure? Or do you fancy working for Kraken's Arms, one of the greatest pirating crews in Limsa? If you're interested, take yourself up the steps to the balcony above and talk to Carvalhan, our captain. Do right by him, and I'll do right by you. I'm called because I just like the overall aesthetic. It's a pretty banger aesthetic. Greetings, friend, and welcome to the Seven Sages, purveyor of the finest spices from the East. All our products are guaranteed obtained through completely legal means. Oh, you do not seek spice, but employment. Well then, let's speak of how you might be service to our organization. Our misery returned from a lazy voyage bearing exotic spices never before seen in Eorzea. I want to make like a Dune joke. I prepared 2 samples, each of which I would have you deliver to certain individuals. The first is for Grenade, whom you would find at the Coral Tower. The second is the Master Linksath, the head chef of the Bismarck. And do make certain the right person gets the right set. Go now. Return here once you have accomplished the task. The glam. Okay, yeah. Pacing the bosses, the music. I think Catesis might be one of my least favorite Endwalker to tank, just because other than like one path, it's a little bit boring. There's not a lot to do other than just straight wall-to-wall it. And the first 2 bosses are just, oh, they're fine. They're cool. Yeah, Catesis is good. Welcome to the headquarters of the Yellow Jackets, keepers of the peace in Limsa Laminsa. Is there what I can assist you with? So, set containing several exotic spices and the instructions on how they can be used. Not something you would expect from the captain of a band of bloodthirsty pirates. A sample of spice courtesy of the 7 Sages, you say? There's no mistake. This is fire sand, and the kind used by the Garleans besides. Quite intriguing. Very well. We'll consider a placing in order. Oh, you thought that you might have brought me spices? I see you're not familiar with Carvalanisms. For the sake of convenience, he used the word spice to refer to literally anything he has procured on the high seas. Lest you worry, your man isn't engaged in any activity that is considered piracy. Far from it. Think of him as a trader, a heavily armed one, who represents limits and interests in eastern lands. I never really thought about favorite and most disliked. Honestly, probably a much healthier perspective. Dungeon, only really which trials I like. And after that, I can only think about the music, which makes me complain about other things. Okay, well, I mean, which trials do you like, too? But also, like, is there any dungeon that I don't love its music? In Endwalker. I love 4, so I appreciate Lunar Subterranean. Aether Font, version of Flow, it's awesome. Lapis Manalis, Garlean theme, real good. Fell Court of Troya, I love that. It's very good. Ulcidal's Legacy. Yeah. Dead Ends, I mean, come on. It's one of the best songs. It's one of the best dungeon songs in the game. Aetioscope, propulsive, energetic, quite good. Continue Hyperborea, very ethereal, quite good. Vanispati, desperate, heartbreaking, quite good. Tower of Babel, like, danger, but also progressive sense of forward, quite good. Tower of Zot, yep. Paglethon, a version of the Emulsion theme, quite good. Matoya's Relic, version of Matoya's theme, quite good. Hero's Gauntlet, final charge to the Crystal Tower, quite good. Amnesis and Niter, jazzy version of Amarantine theme, who doesn't love that? Grand Cosmos, I don't know that I even really remember the theme other than it being kind of like ballroomy. Twinning, I mean, one of the most famous dungeon themes. I would argue one of the most famous dungeon musics from an MMO of all time. Like, I'm not talking about quality of like whether or not you like it, but inarguably, thanks to memes, it is probably one of the most famous pieces of dungeon music of all time. If we're talking about MMORPGs. New sample from the Seventh Sage. All right, let's have a whiff of it then. Ain't smelled nothing like it for. Note came with it, says it's a root what grows in Othard. Last I heard, Othard was under Imperial rule. 7 elves did the Carvon manage to get all this? Any road. Reckon I can come up with something fresh and new with it. Thanks for the delivery, friend. The Twinny was always one of the favorites to tank. It's a good one to tank. Hey, Orem Vale. I think look, I don't like Orem Vale. What I appreciate as a tank for Orem Vale is that there's a lot of technical things you can do to speed it up. So from that standpoint, Orem Vale is fun. The same way that I think some people find the current Unreal boring with Thoradin EX. But as a tank, it's quite fun as there's a lot of things that you actually have to do. Welcome back. It would seem both samples were rather well received. This is no small part due to our affable courier. It is unfortunate, but notoriety accumulated over the course of years does not fade overnight. There are still many who are hesitant to do business with savage pirates. Yet the old days of piracy have passed, giving way to a new wave of opportunity. My crew and I have decided to embrace this wave. With the Admiral's blessing, we engage in a form of trade with the Garlean ships. Everything we do, you must rest assured, is within the law. I forgot Castrum Fulmness. Favorite trial, Castrum Fulmness, hands down. I mean, especially if we're talking about music. Question, Ryan. Is it your favorite mechanically? Or is it just because the theming is so fucking good? No, I'm so surprised about 14 song selection and theaterism. 5 pieces Alexander plus other Heavensward tracks. But only 4 Stormblood and Shadowbringers. But adding more 14 may come across as favoritism. Yeah, it's interesting, Fem. I'm always kind of surprised at the songs that get selected, and I'm never sure if the reason is for, like, has to do with more licensing reasons or anything. You know, because, like, if you think it's, okay, if it's to do with, like, it's easier to get the Soken stuff than the Uematsu stuff, because Uematsu is not a part of the company, whereas Soken is part of the company. That doesn't necessarily explain why there's not more Shadowbringers, because Shadowbringers was basically all him. It does make more sense for Heavensward and Stormblood. And like Alexander makes sense because I'm pretty sure that was specifically the primals all completely. But yeah, I don't know if it's like because there's more popular ones in-house or in Japan, or if it's more to do with like from a game design standpoint for theater rhythm, it's like has to do with like, you know, what songs are less like good to listen to, but maybe like design-wise for the, you know, encounters. The Tsukuyomi raid, now I remember. Yeah, the trial, the Tsukuyomi trial. Yeah, I'll say Tsukuyomi EX is definitely really good. I worked out I can unsync Orem Vale in 2.5 minutes at one point. Nice. What is my favorite trial? What is my favorite trial? It also depends if we're talking about EX or regular. It definitely depends on that. And like theming is different than mechanics, right? Because of mechanical... If we're talking about mechanical and on normal... We're talking about mechanically and normal. Mechanically normal. I don't know. The problem is none of them are challenging. I would say for me, I'd have to talk about EX mechanic because like theme. If we're talking about theming, then Castrum Fullness fucking slaps. Honestly, all the weapons slap, specifically and particularly Emerald and Ruby. Theming the Dying Gasp is real good. Quite like the Crown Immaculate, but it's not, I don't think it ranks. Abyssal Facture EX. Okay, most fun mechanically EX, in my opinion. Presuming synced. Storm's Crown's really fun synced. I think I really enjoy. It's very, very easy, but Zodiark EX is fun. I like the mechanics in that. Ruby Weapon and Emerald Weapon are really fun in EX. I appreciate them. I think they're a fun challenge, maybe more than I necessarily like. Ruby Weapon I enjoy mechanically, but Siege of Sacrifice is really good. I don't know, it's one of my favorites. Dancing Plague's fine. All the Stormblood ones are fine, or, you know, fine to good. Heaven's Word EXs. I've enjoyed the Unreals of them more than I enjoyed their synced compatriots. And then the Realm Reborn ones are mostly jokes. Yeah. Zodiac is very fun to farm with people. Umino was great at leading us through. Yeah, I've done a lot of like Umino's one just a really good at leading. Umino leads does a lot of the shot calling in our stat in one of the statics I'm in, and Umino's just very good at that. Speaking of, I need to message them back. I forgot I need to but I've been brain. But the Zodiark, I don't know. There's something about like the positioning and stuff for Zodiark that I find very fun. The reason Zodiark is very easy. Here's the thing. Here is what makes Zodiark very easy, and in my opinion, what has made some of the other EXs this time around harder. Zodiark requires only one person to understand the mechanics of the fight, and everyone can follow them. That's what makes Zodiarks easy. Effectively. Yes, it's better the more people understand, but Zodiark has effectively no individual responsibility as a fight. None. The only individual responsibility it really has is the tank who's about to get the tank buster not to be on the party. That's about it. Hydaelyn has more individual responsibility. You need to know, you obviously need to know your light groups, your light parties, and you need to know your clock position. And when it comes to the part with strikes, you need to know which role you are and which of the crystals to go to. But beyond that, it is a lot of, relatively speaking, there's not as much individual responsibility as some later things. Endsinger really has one fundamental mechanic that has a lot of individual responsibility, and then the rest is really not a lot of individual responsibility. Storm's Crown is a really good mix of both. Storm's Crown is hectic as all hell, but it's really fun. I really, I think it's probably my, of all the EXs on an overall level of Endwalker, Storm's Crown's probably my favorite overall, but there's plenty of things that other ones do that I also really, really, really love. Mount Ordeals has, in theory, I feel a good mix of both, but in practice, a lot of personal responsibility that if anyone tweaks up because of things like limit cut is just it. You really, the personal responsibility is to a point that one person messing up is a wipe for everyone. In a way that I don't like as much. Whereas Storm's Crown, there's lots of moments of personal responsibility, but one person fucking up usually doesn't wipe the entire group. Like, that's one of the reasons I like Storm's Crown, and that's one of the reasons that been one of the difficulties in Endwalker. It has been that basically a lot of the like higher end stuff has just been one person mess up as an instant result and an instant failure for most mechanics. Voidgas Deus has, it's kind of in a similar branch of like, in a sense, it's like a 50-50 of personal responsibility, except for the places where there is personal responsibility, someone messing up is a bigger issue, but it's not as bad as I think like Ordeals is. Like, I definitely think Voidcast Deus is better than Mount Ordeals for what I like and my opinion. And then I really like Abyssal Fracture, but for some reason people famously have struggles with the meteors, which I don't understand because it's one of the easiest EX mechanics from Endwalker, frankly. The meteors is one of the easiest EX mechanics. I want next Unreal to be Stormblood. I think there's a good chance it will be. Gregorius, I think there's a good chance it will be. CFM, have a good one. Music first, mechanics second. Hey, there ain't nothing wrong with that if that's your preference. Tsukukomi is food to you, but I don't get it enough. Yeah, favorite trials would be Seed of Sacrifice and Dancing Plague. Seed of Sacrifice is a good one. Warning, do not lick the like button. This will only cause spong? What the fuck is spong? If I'm tanking, Susano. Yeah, you want shit to be cool, Dest. Susano just cheers me up every time I get it. He's just a happy dude. He just wants to fight. Duty Park is very fun to farm. Yeah, might want to check stream health. Got a lot of stuttering. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it looks like it's good. I'll double check. I'll see it. MSI. Let's turn on. Let's boost the fans real quick. Ooh. Yeah, I think my graphics card's just overheating a little bit because I'm pushing it. Yeah, I turned up the fan and it should be fine. Yeah, because I'm currently using CPU acceleration for my OBS and stuff. Technical stuff. Yada yada technical jargon. This is the first time someone pronounced my name correct. Really? Gregorius? Now I'm curious how people pronounce. Look, I pronounce things wrong all the time, so far be it from me to like make fun of others, but I'm just like, it was not one I would have thought would have been the... Dude, I remember this guy I think has a squid card that I think I tried. It took me like 6 hours of fighting him to get. Oh, okay, we got a same. Interesting. Interesting. How do I want to play this? Because I bet you I can make this work to my advantage. Oh, but I can't. Okay. No. Okay, yeah, I think I know I can do this. Okay. Okay. Damn it. Oh, nope, I can make this work. Please don't have a double 8. Please don't have a double 8. Please don't have a double 8. Haha. Taste lightning. Greg Gins. They usually... Greg. They just go with Greg. The same and plus rarely mystify. Rules mystify. Okay, same is super simple. Same is super simple. And I'm happy to explain it. Literally, if the card you play down... Here, I can even explain this. See how this has 8 at the bottom and this has an 8 on the side? I'm about to play, and I was literally almost about to point to the screen. I'm gonna play this, and it'll be touching 8 to 8, which means that this card has the same as the 2 cards it's about to touch. So it flips the 2 cards it's touching to mine. It's that simple. Okay, that's Carvalin, and then okay, so I have the Merlip card, so I need to mark that down. Merlip card is already acquired. And then I just got the Carvalin card. This is kind of a boring game. That's fine, though. Yeah. Oh, fuck, I fucked that up. I played that wrong. I still haven't gotten the card from the Flame Commander. Yeah. I think I got every card from all the NPC opponents and will never play any of them again. I got all the cards from all the NPC opponents on Elio, or on Lendriel, and now I'm having to get them all on Elio again. Because I'm a fool. Oh, I don't have... Damn it. Oh, I can work with that. Okay, I just need one more card from you. Come on. Oh, fuck. No. God damn it. Hey! Got the Kraken card. I remember I played him for hours and hours because this was before they boosted the drop chance. Because it used to be the drop chance for these guys was like a fifth of what it was. Okay, so that's the Kraken and Carvalin. Down. Okay, let's pull back up this real quick. So we were talking about this, the April Fool's video that I'm by hell or high water, I'm gonna figure out a way to get out. So we have to figure out what Elio is talking about. So things time bubble. Dawntrail, secret information, blitzball. What's some other stuff? What about, you can make a joke about the various not stores, but like occupations of Eorzean as kind of a joke that then leads into the ads that are interrupting everything. Content creation in Eorzean. What's some other Solution 9 computers? Okay, yeah. Solution 9. I like that. I like that a lot because there's already a bunch of ads in Solution 9. 9 conspiracy. And also, if I put this out on April Fool's, then I think it's more appropriate. I'm gonna star that one because I like that, because like playing with like techno advanced civilization, that one of the only things we've seen on it are a bunch of ads, I think. And yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Triple Triad History Origin. The problem is, Sarah, is that honestly I would like to just like do that as a short video onto itself. And I also don't know that people necessarily would inherently like click on that, because part of the thing that we're trying to do with this is, one, kind of make it being a little bit clickbait, because it's part of being the April Fool's thing. Definitely have tone fix in the thumbnail, kind of to get at the joke of it. Yeah, I think Solution 9 conspiracy is. 9 conspiracy. I'm gonna keep the other things like locked up for a second, because I actually think there's something to be said there. Okay, let's see. Dude, I'm gonna start getting such weird ads now that we looked up all this nonsense. Okay. So, structure loosely is Elio, intro, yada yada, into tone fix, interrupts with add, Elio patiently thanks him, then tries to carry on. Tone fix interrupts again. Yeah. No, but I appreciate the ideas. Like keep idea. That's how like good things come out. It's just like trying different stuff, and then. Okay. But what's the structure of continuing to make the joke funny, without it just be like, clearly Elio gets progressively more and more annoyed. Okay, but what is the Solution 9 conspiracy in and of itself? Solution 9 is just I mean, one, you can kind of make it a semi-serious thing of like just a, you know, gaming server. Solution 9 is VR hell solution. I'm just writing things now. I'm just gonna try the S9. S9. Yeah, okay, so there's definitely, okay, Solution 9. Okay, so like here's the thing that's worth hitting at Solution S9 references. Here's the thing, that there's actual knowledge that we can sneak in. So if we sneak in the knowledge, it actually is useful to Solution 9 is a massive crypto. Solution 9 is a massive crypto rig. Yep, I like it. Is a VR chat room, which honestly is, how different is that than hell? S9 actual points, references, ancient world writing, references to FF9, ancient world writing. Whew. Yeah. See, I can go strong for a bit with you guys when I've saved up some of the energy, but then quickly the brain fog and stuff comes back, and if I try to slow down or do anything like write and stuff, my ability to function kind of starts to Go the way of the dodo. What things do you guys want to know about Solution 9, if you can know anything about Solution 9? Souls, heritage found, Solution 9, S9, chat, GPT, server. I don't know what the joke is there. I don't like. There may be one. It's not that there isn't one, but I just know like the crypto rig is immediately apparent to me because the joke there also works with the whole ads concept. I feel like that might work better. Ancient world writing souls, heritage found. Lightning / Calamity 2. I don't know either, man. I'm just throwing spaghetti at the wall. And yeah. I'm bouncing off of it, right? I'm not trying to like reject. I'm just more like, okay, you know. Figuring out what's good from each thing or what's not, what doesn't work is how you make progress forward. Souls, heritage found, lightning calamity. Merry go round. Dungeon. Yeah, okay. I see what this is. This is literally, I need to structure a video that genuinely talks about the information of Solution 9 that just constantly gets interrupted by Tomefix and the ads. Like, I know that's basically what we said already, but I can conceptualize that the structure is not the ads with information between, but it's actually just basically writing from scratch a video that is actually trying, which I actually technically have a script for a lot of this already. Like, I have 3 complete scripts, one of which is about all the maps of, here, let me go to airship scripts. I have a bunch of scripts right now, but like one of them right now is, there's just one of them. This is for like 3 of the maps, and that talks about stuff. So that was what, Tyrol maps. Mikotes aren't from Americidia. What we know about each maps. Yeah. This is the other 3. And then I also have Mikotes are from Americidia, which I need to actually finish up. Even better. Yeah, so then the structure is just like the constant interruption and Elio losing his cool. So where's the end point of that? What's the end point of Elio losing his cool? Does Elio ultimately make the joke or the point about it being a crypto rig, or is it one of the, like, is that like the final straw of is that the final straw that Tomefix makes? Mention necromancy class. Who's mentioning it? Is Tomefix mentioning it? Is like I know I'll go crazy for that, but like what, like who's mentioned, like what's the structure of that mention of that knowledge drop? Okay. Elio. Okay, so does Elio lose his shit? Is Elio effectively ultimately in on it and he turns to the camera after blowing up at Tomefix and then does an ad read at the end? That has to be the thing. Elio turns to camera after blowing up at Tomefix and does an ad read at the end. It would be really funny if I actually got an ad from, like, my first ever actual ad from a company was for that. That would be quite funny. But I don't think they would let me do it at the end. Like, most of those guys want you to do it up front and have a specific thing you say. So Pulling the tome fix. It doesn't add read at the end. So is that the crypto joke in there? No, I think you need to drop the crypto joke somewhere earlier on. It needs to be like in there. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Structure. Elio intro on solution, sign and theories. Tome fix interrupts. Add Elio patiently thanks him, then tries to carry on. Tome fix interrupts again. Or firmly tries to tell Tome fix off and gets further into his point before more ads. Elio gets kind of upset and tells Tome fix off a little bit. And the goober somehow sneaks in some ads. Stuff happens. Elliot turns the camera after blowing up Tome fix. Doesn't add read at the end. Yeah, vaguely that the structure works. Yeah. Okay. Solutionize VR chat room. Solutionize just a gaming server. Solutionize massive crypto rig. Okay, so that I'm just gonna throw that down in our list down here. Crypto ad. Okay, also okay, I have to admit, the idea of a goblin being real deep into crypto also kind of sounds hilarious. Gobcoin. Oh god, the joke's right itself. Okay. Goblin into crypto. You know the Illuminati are into crypto. Into crypto. Gobcoin. Okay, yep, the jokes are all there. Oh man, my face is overblown right now. Okay. Whew, that's better. Much like Warrior of Light, Gobcoin goes straight to the... Your genius, Demins. I'll make sure to credit. Much like Warrior of Light, Gobcoin go straight to the moon. Oh man, okay, yeah, okay. That one's definitely making it in. That's really good. That's really, really good. Oh, you know what else? Instead of common Spanish, no. You know what? What is it fucking called? Oh God, what is it? Duolingo. Spanish-speaking goblins. Echo joke. I felt the presence of God in my body, and I had to say it. Funny, we now have a moon store mount now? Moon? We do? Say the store mount. Oh, I didn't see this. Oh, that's super cute. I gotta get that. Maybe we'll make that a... Here, let's make that a... I'm going to make that a funding goal. I know that we can't do... I guess I can't set that up right now. But, like, I'll set that up for when we're doing future... That's super cute. I love that. I will also say this. I know I defend the cash shop quite a bit. If this was an $8 mount, I just have no problem with it whatsoever. I do think $24 for something like this is ridiculous. But yeah, that's very cute. They really added the DreamWorks logo. If you could fish from it, they really then does that. Yeah. Oh my God, no! Don't remind me. I still have to do my lessons, French or the tench, Spanish or vanish. Oh, that's super cute. I love that. Love the little, you got... That's very cute. I'll grab it at some other time. I was about to say, like, wait, whose is that? It's myself. It's literally myself. Okay. Okay. So this is how I work. I kind of just throw a bunch of all my thoughts onto the page and then kind of massage it down into something that's actually kind of coherent. Then what's the actual? Because the joke is a solution on conspiracy, but what is the actual? What is the actual conspiracy? Okay. Oh. Okay. I see where the joke is. I see where the joke is for where to get gob coin and stuff in there. Well, more ads. At some point brings up the notion of a conspiracy around... I also don't worry about spelling, so you'll see a lot of typos. Solution 9. Because otherwise, if I get caught up on fixing typos earlier on, the disconnect between my brain and my hands gets worse. Solution 9. Yeah, if I just what happens if I pause the game for a second. Notion of conspiracy around solution. At some point, Elio brings up a solution 9 and begins to talk about it when Tome Fix interjects with the fact that everyone knows the true conspiracy around solution 9 is blank. You don't want to be in French. You don't want to be French in a trench. Have you seen the World War uniforms? Not really good for trenches. Nobody wants trench foot. Okay, I don't know why this is, but I get a lot of messages on Discord that are from people that just say like hey or hello with nothing else. And they're like not necessarily people who are part of the Eorzean archives or anything. Like something a lot of times they'll come from like, you know, a mutual server or something. And it's like I assume that they're probably just a scam or something, but it's like if you, in my mind, I want to know what people's social faux pas agreements on this. Like if I don't know someone and you're messaging me and all you say is hey, like I don't necessarily know that I'm gonna message back or accept that message on like Discord, because it's like if you don't know someone, you should kind of like say up front like, hey, I'm this blah 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 this person, I'm interested in like, you know, either working with you or, you know, or getting some advice from you or like something in like the immediate. But am I crazy? Am I just like, am I old? Solution 9 is an SCP facility. SCP stands for Standardized Cheese Production. They're trying to reach you about your Chocobo's extension. Okay, I'm writing that down at the very least. That's not really the ad joke is the problem. I love that idea, Des. I love the idea because the standardized cheese, like the cheese joke in there. Chocobo's extended warranty. I'm gonna write that down. Okay, let's see what. I love the idea of like Tomefix just like jumping up at the bottom screen of like just slightly interjecting with the 14 thing. Absolutely not. If you don't know someone and try to talk to them, you should 100% be immediately upfront about it while you're initiating the conversation. Yeah. Okay. Manscaped, Herescaped, I like it. Hins, Blue Chew. I think I'm gonna forego this one just because like I don't know. Like I know that like the 14 players, a lot of them are degens, but like. What's the joke here that's really funny coming out of, like, Gabi? Okay, also, here's, you know what? I feel like you could probably combine, like, Raycons / Mint Mobile into, like, a Link Pro joke there. Dos Equis. Oh, okay, you know what? I've got an idea. I've got a joke in here. Elio goes to play a clip of a video from FanFest, but instead it's a advertisement done by Tomefix. Like, most interesting goblin in the world. Yeah, there we go. There's a good joke in there. I just realized that my favorite T content is watching Elio write in Google Docs, including musical stream. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, especially because it's just such like a me throwing shit on pages and it's not exactly structured, and it's very meandering in terms of how I do stuff. Like I don't feel like I'm very efficient in terms of creating stuff because I have like 10,000 thoughts going on, and then most of my work is just trying to collate it into something that's, you know, structured and usable. We're good. Also, I don't know about you guys, but like when I'm around people, like in real life, like I have a hard time turning off. Like when I'm around people, I'm constantly like hyper vigilant of people and paying attention to them and like engaging with them. Like one of the things I actually tend to like is if a bunch of people are out having a good time, like in the house, and I'm like, if I was like in here doing my own thing, like I can be happy. Like I like, don't get me wrong, I like being with people, but like I have to be on when I'm around people. And so streaming's interesting because like when there is an absence of feedback, I'm kind of like, you know, my brain is trying to do the like parsing, the like, okay, is there a problem or is things fine? You know, it's yeah. Creativity is rarely efficient. That's true, right? And I don't know that it should be. Yeah. I wish that there was less conflict with making sure I can make money and eat because the YouTube channel's doing well, with also the creativity side of it. But at the same time, also having pressures is not... Having some amount of pressures to make sure you're doing stuff isn't inherently bad. I think my problem is just like when I'm always excited to work. I'm always excited to do stuff. I'm always very driven. But when I'm like very physically exhausted and mentally exhausted, it's very annoying. Because it's like, I just want to be doing stuff. This life is too beautiful. This life is too much of a great and grand endeavor and adventure to not be, to be held back from being able to experience it and enjoy it. Even when that just means working on shit. Even just means creating shit. Oh, that was too much. I meant that to be a tap, and it was a full push. Oh, it's a good chonky boy. And look at this good goober. Boom and crash and doodle dash. Taste the ugly crack and smash. Was it always a fat chocobo? I feel like it used to be like one of the minions. Let's cuff a cur. Ooh, that was terrible. That was spectacularly awful. Why am I doing so bad today? I'm usually pretty good at this. Truly, apparently light. I just didn't think it was, like, I knew it was affected bad in terms of tiredness. I didn't think it was that bad in terms of, like, my reaction time. Use the force, yeah. Like, I used to be able to get excellence pretty, like, consistently. Okay, at least I'm getting back to a little bit. There we go. One more try. Okay, I should go turn in some of these things, or decent. Let's see. Yeah, let's decent the things that'll give me levels. Hey, I got the gem. Would anyone like to join me for doing the weekly things for the tombstones real quick? I just realized I've been neglecting some of my tombstone stuff because I haven't really been on anything. Tombstone event's over? Why does my list look cute? Well, I just got... It doesn't say it. Oh, it does say finished. So can I not still do these? Because it doesn't say... Ended on the 11th. Tells you how... Ended on the 1st. Okay, yeah. It tells you how out of it I've been. 12th, okay. Use the tombstone event to unlock the car. Nice. So... Are these listed on here as I can't get them, or I still can? Because now I'm confused. This doesn't say like that I can't. They're current / expired. Okay. Well, that's fine. Did they say anything about phase 2? And again, this shows you how out of it I am. Yeah, it's / expired at the top. Sweet. Thanks, guys. Yeah, that is a bit of a strange design, but oh well. Yeah. Man, I'm glad I started to at least write the video a little bit. Just because it's been weighing on me that I haven't been getting on that. You don't get from Toga. Cool. And we've had no reporting on like when part 2 is going to come out, right? That's from the orphans, so let's go donate those at the orphanage. Maybe next week. Yeah, if they announced if they announced the release date for if they were announced the pre-orders, it could either be next week or it could be later down the line. If they want to do the Tombstone event in the lead up towards Dawntrail. I don't know. I don't know what their plan was for that. It is weird that they made it like a 2-parter instead of just making it. Because effectively it is 2 full parts anyways. Because these are literally irregular tombstones of Genesis 1, so there's going to be a Genesis 2. It's not even like these are going to cross over. Do I have any? No, I don't. Hardiest gift. Heartfelt gift. Okay. Oh, I don't have any of those things returned. Okay. Well, also, I probably would finish this week, and I don't have the energy right now to do all the voices, so we can set that aside. Okay. Oh, it's 2. I've been going for a while. Let's see. Let me look at my list of triple triad stuff. And lack of if I need something to do. Lower decks 815. Shit. Oh, bring that back. Bring that back. 815 lower decks. Oh, you know what, Des? That's another one of the things I've been needing to do that I've been neglecting because I've been so out of it on. Just Discord is just like a little bit overwhelming. One of the things has been, Des, what do I need to do for the Aria thing? Like, I want to be a part of the group, one of the groups that does that, and I would love to do a T group for that. But I just every time I like been trying to take care of stuff, I haven't managed it. So like, what is needed from me on that? 8, 15, 8, 15. Just show up, honestly. Okay. I don't need to like get a thing or anything. You like, I just want to make sure I don't miss the opportunity to play with you guys. Take a screenshot of your hotbar and HUD. Honestly, I'd be able to form that really quickly just from memory. Okay, Wawel to go. Yeah. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to fight him even without having Dundon. Yeah, okay. Right. This fight's a pain in the ass. That's why I didn't bother. Let's see what you do with that. Oh, this is a risky take, but it's worth a shot. Yeah, I can work with that. Please, 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 please make it. Ah, couldn't you just make it that easy? Okay, cool. I just also want to make sure to try to do early so I can get the swag. I'm so mad that they didn't have the swag in at FanFest. That was a little sad. Yeah, take that. Come on, come on. Oh no, you took my ace. You shit ass. From what I've gathered, merch may run out as soon as Friday. I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, if I'm there Thursday, I'll try to run it Thursday with you. And then run it again with T people. Oh, I guess you already have a group, so. Yeah, you're going to take that. That's fine. That's fine. I can work with that. I can work with that. Yeah, that's a little tougher. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. I got this by the ass. Oh, no, I fucked that up. Oh, that's a surprise. Okay, cool. But I'm not missing it. There's randos who will also want to run it again for other people, yeah. I just want to make sure I wasn't... I'm predisposed to when I'm to, like, doing poorly to, like, drop like messaging people back on and stuff and not taking care of things that need to be taken care of. So I just want to make sure I was on top of my shit while I'm cognizant. Ooh, I'm gonna regret this. Oh, thank God. Well, if I can't take anything, I should just secure my position. Oh my God, would you just give me your goddamn card? I'm not crazy, you're the one who's crazy, so just go away. And I'm not getting good options for positions. I will take that. Almost I could capture you if I take you elsewhere. This, I could potentially lose you. But I could still get you back. Let's go for the protected card. Well, yeah, that's a worse to draw. Oh no, right, sudden death. Well, he doesn't have an ace. He doesn't have any. Well, he has Nanamo, but that gives me a good capture if he plays that. If he plays on that, that also gives me a good cap. Play it in there, he could double take, which that sucks. Play that's unsecure. If he played there. That decreases his power with Nanamo, whereas if they play there, doesn't really put me in a better situation whatsoever. So, come on, I just need one good placement. Yes. Hey, there's our Lucia card. Check that off the list. Why are there so many triple triad cards? I am the king of the forest. Okay. I'm thinking about getting food, and now that we talked about the burgers and stuff, one, I want to go to In-N-Out Burger, but there are none up here. And two, I'm torn. Like, part of me wants to actually go to McDonald's because I haven't had it in a while. I also don't get out of the house enough. Dude, I shit you not. I went outside to, like, go grocery shopping yesterday, and it was such a beautiful, wonderful thing. And also, it was, like, I got done with shopping, and I was like, immediately fell asleep. It's a beautiful world we live in. Has the Pope returned? I realize devoid of context that probably is a weird thing to say. And that was one of the few things I like about living in California, yeah. Yeah, cabin fever. Yeah, and also like when you've been kind of oh no, the Pope's still missing. Like, at least the Chocobo Pope is here. Yeah. Yeah, I just wish it would warm up again. It's been actually pretty okay. It hasn't been great. Here's been a little bit chilly, but it's been okay. I'm also used to like the thing is that here in New Hampshire. I'm used to like Minnesota and Wisconsin winters that like it's like May and there's still snow on the ground. So when it was like February and most of the snow and almost all the snow was completely gone and it was like 50 degrees, it was like, no, it's at that point it's pretty. You have business with the Platinum Mirage this evening. Missive from Wymond. All right then, let's have a look. Bird is barren, let the hounds feast. So it goes. Oh, this? Well, you see the Gale is often contracted to provide protective services. Unfortunately for this particular petitioner, Wymond's investigation has revealed his finances to be wanting. Maybe adventurers like you don't mind working for free, but we have a business to run. Myself have 4 mouths to feed, so this bird will have to fend for himself, I'm afraid. Also, me, V, Dest, and I think Crepe later on are going to be doing Mount Rokon. Oh, right. Another the Rokon. Sorry, we're not doing Savage, but it was like my brain broke for a second because we're doing another Mount Rokon. I forgot the nomenclature for a second. Okay, I'm gonna give it one try. If he doesn't drop the card I need in one go, I'm leaping off a cliff. Criterion, thank you. Thank you, Criterion. Yes. Do I go for the definite capture? I mean, it really doesn't matter, but fuck it. Fuck your twins. Hey, at least I got a card. I'll take it. Okay. Okay. We got the event done. I got my little Goobo girl, PD. Actually, what does PD say? Oh, God. Hailing from a place where the peach trees bloom, this winsome Goobo maiden was found and taken in by traveling entertainer Aldemund. After delighting the crowds on Little Ladies' Day, she made the decision to join you on your adventures in order to spread more cheer. I love it. So good. Remove the Mogpendium now. We got the event done. We did a little bit of work, so we did some play and we did some work. Hey, Uniminion. Got some triple triad cards. We unlocked We unlocked the Hullbreaker Hard. We got some stuff done. We made a little bit of progress. Bleh. 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 I might go ahead and call it here and try to push my energy a little bit and go outside and get some food, go for a walk, see if I can make that work. Blah, bleh. But yeah, I think I'll try to off stream. I'll try to work more on I think that April Fool's video, because I think that'll be my real goal of putting all my efforts into getting that done in the next 2 weeks. Thanks for streaming. Yeah, no, thanks for hanging out, everybody. I know that these are a bit impromptu right now, and the timeline is variable and what have you, but I definitely makes me feel better to know that you guys are still it's all still good. I think I'll try to make a habit of being on the Discord again. I basically let myself take that to just say take a break from everything because of my mental energy was just so low. But yeah. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your days. I will probably see you guys, if not tomorrow, then probably for sure on Monday, because I think I'll definitely be I'll be trying to do a stream. I don't want to say every day. I'm not going to promise that, but I want to do most days, just to that sort of road to Dawntrail, getting Elio prepped or working at least one or the two. Please take care of yourself. I will. Thank you all for being very patient with me and for being very caring about my health, especially when I'm sure that I seem like a weird combination of fine and not fine. Like, cause I'm like talking and I'm fine, Yeah, thanks for stream company while I do a little spring cleaning of my retainers. Hey, it's important work. I think as long as you need to recover, Elio, COVID is awful. Yeah, I just wish it was not so liminal. That's the hard part. Is I'm bad when things are. If you make me really sick, I'm fine because I'm like all my energy's recovering. And if you make me really good, then I'm good, right? But when I'm in a liminal state, I'm bad at giving myself rest, but I'm also unhappy if I'm resting too much. Yeah, liminal states of health are the worst. But yeah, I'm glad I got out. I'm glad I did get a bit of work done. I'm looking for. I feel like I'm already laughing at that April Fool's video, so I'm very much looking forward to furthering the jokes and getting it going. And Demins, I'll try to make sure to either credit you or something, because I don't want to just like take y'all's jokes or something and just be like, aha, look at me, how I've written them all. But yeah. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you guys very soon. Don't forget, you can always at me on the Discord and what have you. Thank you to all you, and have a wonderful, good life. Cheers.